you're new to OOTP, maybe you're taking advantage of the winter sale and you just picked up the game, let us know in chat. Let us know. And Gabagool Luigi, don't put you're new. I know you're not new. I know your tricks. If you're new to OOTP, let us know in the chat that you've just been playing for a week or two or maybe a month. And welcome all in. Laptop Pound streaming a few times a week, Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and a short stream on Saturdays, and a NHL, kind of an FHM NHL podcast that I usually do on Monday nights with a group of people as well. Before we bring in the co-host today, a big shout out, congratulations to Izadafo, the Florence Baycats, for winning the first inaugural invitational. Yeah, I know it's kind of like a double negative. First inaugural. I know it's the same kind of thing, but you know what? It looked fancy on a trophy. So there you go, Izadafo. I've made you a trophy for winning the inaugural invitational. It was a great, right from the draft all the way through Spore's broadcast of the games. And I interviewed Izadafo and asked him what his secrets were, his strategies were. Check the VOD a little bit later, but I did that, I think, on whatever night it ran. That night, I did a quick interview with Izadafo. So yeah, check out his secrets if you want to know how to win one of these invitationals. Maybe it's luck. I don't know, but he gave us some good advice there. Also, big thank you to Spore, to Nicolino, to the devs for getting it set up in short order. Warbot and Izadafo for kind of coming up with the idea and getting it kickstarted. To Tetsuiji, who helped me with the draft, keeping the guys in line and keeping them on a clock to make sure that it ran smoothly. So yeah, really fun invitational 8-person tournament. Congratulations again to Izadafo and to all 8. There was not an easy team among the bunch. Also, I did send off the more recent community request form to Spore. So he has a couple forms now. He's probably got over 100 different suggestions that you guys, the community, have made in terms of what you want to see in the game, in terms of some of your favorite players. If you haven't filled the form out yet, here is copy number 3. And once we get 30, 40 responses, then I will send this one off to him too. So yeah, go do that and let us know. Find that obscure player from your childhood that we haven't seen a lot in the game. Or maybe you find a debut player that has not been in the game, not named Tony Suck. So yeah, find a player, fill out the form with a couple players you'd like to see in the game, and maybe on the Tuesday Treasure Trove one week, you will see your player show up. Also, the Laptop Hound, I'm loving this tournament. It's my favorite level, low, because that's what I feel. If I can be an expert at something, it's the lower levels, the iron, the bronze, little bit of gold. So the Laptop Hound daily lower level leisure lounge. We've been playing this since pretty much the beginning of December, and keeping track of the top 4 finalists, the top 4 placers, I guess, in each tournament. And thanks to D. Dempsey, who created this spreadsheet for me, easy to keep track of. And you'll notice that I finished 4th, I finished 2nd, I finished 3rd. First has eluded me. Hopefully one of these times I can win my tournament, named after Laptop Hound, and also giving out 20 packs to whoever has the high score after December. So January 1st on the show, I'll let you know who wins those 20 packs, plus anyone that has placed. So right now we have 67, 69, 73 teams that have finished in the top 4. That's outstanding that 73 different teams have finished in the top 4. So all of these teams will get entered for a chance to win 5 packs as kind of consolation. So the December period ends. We've got today's tournament kicked off, and then we got a couple more days. This number here is not the date. It's simply the tournament number. So I did throw in December 31st here as kind of the cutoff date. And then we'll be doing it all again in January. Fresh new slate, for a chance to win 20 packs at the end of January. So yeah, I see some familiar names on here. GT Sundown won yesterday over Chess Safari. So great matchup yesterday. The Wood Ducks, Pops Dongoria came third. So I love seeing a lot of community members here. We have Don't Cut the D Block Dragon, who finished second back to back. We've got Jeff Steele Flex finishing second, Izadaffel and Charles winning one tournament each. Then we see our leader is the Usman-led Dodgers with 14 points overall. So with 3 or 4 tournaments left to go, still an outside chance that one of these second, third, or fourth place teams can kind of sneak up and take the overall lead. So again, a Laptop Hound, a lower level leisure lounge. Thanks to Nicolino, the devs, OOTP, for putting that out there in the OOTP universe. It's been a lot of fun. And there may be maybe a few tweaks. One of these tournament refreshes, we may do something a little bit different in terms of the LE cards and the cards that are available, but still going to be lower level because I like that tournament, and I hope you guys are enjoying that too. Speaking of giving away packs, we will have some packs to give away today. We will have the bounty. We will have our trivia, of course, that I know a lot of you enjoy participating in, the race to the first or race to the bottom or first and second, whatever Charles decides to do. So yeah, we will be giving some packs away. Let's get started with a 5-pack giveaway now. Exclamation enter, exclamation ticket in the chat. We'll let it run for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll draw our first winner. And there we go. EVC, Ezra was the first in. GT Sundown, D Dempsey, Mr. Audit. Oh yeah. Let's get those packs. Okay, what do we got now? Oh, I guess we kind of have to bring in a co-host who looks like he's just been, on an African safari. On the show.
Hey.
How have your Flyers been doing there, Charles?
They've been we haven't lost in like almost a week.
Woo! That's why they might have lost a scrimmage game because there were no games in the last few days because of the holidays. Nice try, though.
I was hoping you wouldn't mention that.
Oh, I know my hockey. Maybe not as much as Boiled Egg, who's a big hockey fan. And again, thanks Boiled Egg for re-upping the subscription on the pre-TWIP show today. Boiled Egg plays FHM 10, which again you can get on the OOTP Developments website. So you might want to check that out if you like hockey. Yeah, just go to OOTP Developments and it's right there. You can find it. They got the winter sale. I know some of you are going to be wanting to get some cards, the perfect points. And I have to say, I was so jealous of Dish when I watched his stream on Christmas night, I think it was, with his packs only squad on his personal channel. He's like, yeah, I'm going to use my own money and buy some of these points on sale. He put in the code, boom. Put in another code, boom. Put another. And I'm like, oh, man. And then he bought like 500 packs, a rainbow pack and standard packs. And it was fun. It's always fun watching someone open packs, seeing what you can't get. Charles, you ready? A lot to break down today.
Oh, boy. Yep. It's possible I'm working on a roster in the background. We'll do the best we can.
Oh, man, Charles. And I want to give a huge shout out to Charles because this is prime time after TWIPT to, play the card shop and to put cards on sale and to buy cards and open packs. And, Charles and Izadaffel, when they have been on stream after TWIPT, you can see him working in the background, trying to be a little bit sneaky about it, not appearing to be distracted, but yeah, thanks for.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Thanks for giving up this precious time to go over some of these cards. And speaking of precious time, it is precious time that we win a bounty. And I know on the pre-TWIP show, I said, maybe I should wait until after the bounty to invite Charles on. but I can't do
It,
that, Charles.
it might have been a good strategy. I mean, the way this has been going, all right, we got to come up with some rule that's going to let us win. What are you thinking here?
Okay, well, I've already got one set because we tried it last stream, and I want to make one little adjustment. Just we've done similar things before, but I kind of like this one where you can this time you can only draft. It's down below there. You see the rules. You see the entry. It's double elimination 132. There were no teams entered, so let's fill it up so that we don't have any, people coming in and drafting a regular team. And 10 packs on the line, 5 for defeating us and 5 for winning the tournament. If you take the deal, only can draft relief pitchers and catchers. I think it worked out pretty good with starters last time, but relief pitchers give you a little more flexibility in where they can play. So two-way players are fine as long as it's a relief player or relief pitcher or a catcher. And there was one team, Charles, the Boise team last time. Their entire 8 out of their 9 players in their hitting lineup were catchers. They were able to find a shortstop, a center fielder, all those eligible. So they did a pretty good job.
Well, I did okay in that one. I think it's the two of us together that's the problem, because I've drafted independently in one, you drafted independently in one, and somehow when we try to do this together on stream, it just doesn't work.
That's true. You did win that tournament. You didn't knock me out, but you won the tournament. So you got your 5 packs for winning the tournament. So yeah, congratulations on that. All right. If you're in, declare that you're in the chat. Let's see some of those names here. Amongst all the tickets, the red shirts are in, the Wolves are in, the Sloths are in, the Rangers, Dick Shot is in, Devils are in. Okay, it looks like it's going to fill up pretty quick. And Chess Safari bragging already. He got Mike Piazza with his perfect pick, but he said it's all downhill from there. Okay, I think we're full.
Usually the way it works, right?
So Charles, you did not enter a team. We only get one team.
Correct. Maybe that's what I should have done. I should have entered a team so that one of our teams does badly, then the other. Yeah. Oh well, too late.
Petco Park. So pitcher heavy park, really pitcher heavy park. Let's see what we can do. Oh, see, it's not letting me in already. Let's try this again. Start drafting. Come on, cards. Come on. Let me in. See, we've overloaded the system with all these new cards, mission cards. People just overloaded the servers. Let's see if we can get back in here. 15 out of 16, 1 spot left. Come on, jump in. Chance to win some free packs and to brag a little bit for knocking us out. Yeah, Boise, I think Boise knocked us out, and then you won the tournament. Okay, waiting for server. How long can we wait? So, Charles, how was your holiday?
Not bad. Mostly been working, but that's the thing about being an academic, right? Is that as soon as you're not teaching, that's when you suddenly get all the time to get stuff done.
Yeah, and for those of you that are, professors or high school teachers or anything like that out there, you enjoy the holiday, and believe me, you need it to kind of decompress a little bit. But at the same time, you're always thinking ahead. You're always researching, planning, doing lesson planning for the days that are coming up. So let's see here. Are you getting back to the US in the near future?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually probably be there for a few weeks. I feel like I should have actually booked a ticket by now because I was thinking I'd fly this weekend. So I probably should book that ticket soon, actually.
You
Yeah,
probably
gonna see
should.
family
Yeah.
for a few days, and then I'm gonna be at a conference in New Orleans. And then I'm gonna up in Boston for a bit, and then I'm not quite sure after that. So
Okay. Well, I'm not fulfilling missions right now. I'm not doing what Charles would normally be doing. I'm delaying for time a little bit because my OOTP just crashed. And that means we're going to have even less time, Charles, to draft and to set our positions.
you know that couldn't possibly be a problem.
We'll find out. Will it let me
Probably not.
into the draft? Let's see. Where are we
Oh,
here?
the pop-up unfroze though.
Oh, the pop-ups are up?
No, there's a pop-up
Oh,
that fired about 24 hours ago that I was in, which froze, and there have been server issues, and it's now unfrozen.
okay. Well, the good news is we're not going to have Jim unknowns. So let's go through this real quick. Relief pitchers, catchers. Let's alternate rounds. You go first.
All right, I'm pulling it up here. I should do it on the StreamYard thing because it's live. All right, so we're can you remind me the rules? This is catchers and starting pitchers and nothing else.
Relief pitchers,
Sorry,
catchers, and relief pitchers.
and
Don't
relief
change the
pitchers and
rules.
nothing else.
So you pick the two favorite ones you
Well,
want here.
yes.
Go ahead. Just pick any two favorite ones you want.
Well, there's a new Miguel Cabrera. I think we should take the new card and bench him.
Okay.
And I've heard that Jeff Kent is really good.
You know what? I'm taking Jose Altuve.
No. Kent is better. You have to look at that Kent. I think that Kent is actually possibly worse than the live Altuve.
So we're off to a good start. No options there. So if you have to draft a non-eligible player, simply go to the player, go to transactions, sent to the reserve roster so that they never see the light of day on your team. At least we can say we drafted the new Miggy.
Yes.
All right. How about you go this time for real?
Oh, no, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay. Russell Martin is a catcher who can pitch, although we probably won't need that. And Wade Davis.
I think as bad as Ted Simmons is, so the strategy I would go with here is it's so hard to find position players. I think we should just draft every single catcher so that we at least end up with 12 hitters on the roster.
That's true. Right. That's true. Okay. So Davis and Haller?
I think we just go Hall. I know Tanner Scott's great, but I think ending up with 12 hitters on the roster is really important.
Okay. I like this strategy. Cartea and Garver?
Catches. All right. Well, I mean, it's fine. We're going to get our pitchers at the end, but, you know, because I at least want to get some. All right. We have. Let's draft the two relievers.
The two live relievers.
You were worried we were going to run out of time. This has been. We're just flying through this draft.
All right. We've got our two first basemen, possibly.
Let's see. No catchers.
Clear and Torres, I guess.
Clear's awful.
Or Kelly.
Is Kelly at all playable? Kelly's not great because Clear is. If you look at Clear, he's really not good.
Okay. Well, let's take Kelly because he can play 4 positions. All right. 2 relievers. Every catcher we see, we're taking here.
Right, we're taking Sherm. And Dick Lines is actually good.
Okay. Sherm Dick to Colby.
All right. And we got Logan O'Hoppe.
There we go. All right. Other than that first round, so far pretty successful. And as I say that, we run into an issue. We got Sims and Suarez.
All right. See how easy we're making this draft. We're flying through it. Okay, Larry McClain and Ernie. Woo. Actually, hold on. We can only take 2 of these 3 catchers. That's a little unfortunate. So Witt's good, and then maybe we should compare the other 2.
Kennedy.
Doc plays first. McClain play? Just catcher. So it's probably then Doc, right?
Yeah. Doc and Ernie. Blue Jay love. Okay. Santana?
Santana's good.
And this
two
guy.
people we're allowed to take.
Yeah, this is easy. Like we
have absolutely no. So I assume closer also counts as a reliever here, right? So we can take Hasegawa. Yeah. So Hasegawa Timlin is just that's a great round.
Hasegawa Timlin. All right, now we get 2 more here.
All right, last catcher. So we got 11 hitters on the roster. It's would have rather 12, but you know, it's something.
And Lambert or Lovera?
Yover is, let's see, Lambert's got a little feedback. Yover,
Probably Lambert.
maybe Yover is a little more balanced. What do you think? Unless they play positions.
Oh,
wait. Yover actually plays a little bit of third base.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So we will take him and Austin. Okay.
All right.
Good. All right. Now, quickly, what do we got to do? Two-way players?
Well, first off, just look at the lineup for a second. I just want to see. Well, sure, you can make. I mean, you can make them two-way, but you know.
We don't want to make that mistake again. Okay. Let's go over and just make all of these guys two-way before our timer runs out.
Yeah.
And there, and there, and there.
By the way, I
Okay.
don't know if I was going to say, were we planning on talking about exclusive packs? Because I will say that I will likely be opening a few of them fairly quickly in the background, unless we want to talk about them on stream, in which case I'm happy to open a few of them on stream instead.
Yeah. As soon as we get this draft done, let's do that. Let's open some of those packs.
Sure. Fortunately, it's the All-Star break, but our team is struggling this week.
Okay, so this is what we got.
Yeah.
What are we missing? A shortstop and a center field.
Okay. That's probably fine. It's going to put someone in there. I mean, the thing is, what it's going to do is it's going to stick some of our catchers in those positions anyway, which I think is fine. We'd rather have that. Like, honestly, I think we'd rather a catcher that has a real bat than a pitcher that, you know, has like a 10 rating at shortstop, but doesn't actually have any hope as a hitter.
Yeah. Let's just see if this sticks. Let's look at our best bats for our pitchers.
We could try, but like I think you'd rather have Mitch Garver in the lineup somewhere, I think.
Oh,
right?
yeah, okay.
That's
So
what I'm
just
saying. Like
leave it.
instead of sticking the pitchers in, I think we'd rather just have Mitch Garver in the lineup. And look,
Okay.
it's double elimination. So if we do get a nice path, we're going to have some off days anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Let's see what happens here.
So I'm
Okay.
not actually sure we want to run a lot of these two ways. You know, but the pitching we should look at a bit. Because
Okay.
we do have all these relievers. We are going to have to figure out how to make the pitching work.
Okay, stamina-wise, Santana, Hasagawa, Timlin are our top three.
You know what I'd be really tempted to actually just run an empty rotation, which you can't do till after it fires. But just run a one-man rotation with an empty slot with the idea that it's going to just try to make the bullpen work out of who's available.
Okay.
And throw a lot of arms.
And we do want to do a few things strategy-wise. Let's
you know, put really quick hooks on everyone.
Yeah. We don't want stealing because there's catchers in the game. Maybe
well,
some
and catchers are going to be doing the running too.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe some bunting.
Yeah,
bunt for
you can
hit.
bunt a bit.
Let's pitch around.
I think you know we're gonna have some real hitters. You know.
Yeah.
They're gonna be playing the wrong positions defensively, but the bats are gonna be just fine.
All right. Let's just do that. Okay, so let's exit out and let's see if it's started up yet.
And also, everyone's bullpen is going to be a bit short.
True. Yeah. And I think most people are going to have one or two gym unknowns, like Chess Safari says.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They won't be gym unknowns. What's going to happen, it will put players from your roster in the lineup.
Even if they're pitchers.
It's going to stick one of the players on your roster. Okay. If you actually, so here's as I understand it, what it's doing. Because we have a 24-man roster, we've actually put 2 players on the reserve roster. because of that, I think it is going to put 2 gym unknowns on our roster at the end of the bench. So in principle, for our roster, we might actually get a gym unknown somewhere on the roster. If you have a 26-man roster, it is simply going to use your 26-man roster in some way to fill out a lineup card. I'm not quite sure I've been able to like work out which players it's going to prioritize, but in some way it is going to, put your players on the lineup card kind of where it wants them.
Well, this may be the one and only time ever in this game I bench the new Miggy Cabrera for 60 days.
Yes.
Altuve, I don't mind, but Cabrera, 60 days.
Yeah, we finally, I think this is the first time that we've gotten the really exciting new card in our draft, right after it comes out, and we're not even going to play him.
Nope. Okay. Well, we're going to wait for that to fire up. And while we do that, why don't you go and get some packs, some of those new packs ready to rip, and explain your thought process about why you're getting them and what people should be doing. Give them that beginner advice.
Well, so I guess the best way to do it, let me see if I can think about the best way to do it. I mean, because the brief version is the cards are good and I want some of them on the roster. It might be that it's going to be better to buy them in the card shop. So I'm not sure, what I probably should be doing is looking at the prices in the card shop for the couple that I really want. But maybe the thing to do is to even look at the mission structure, because I haven't done that much. Or you've got your game up, actually. Maybe that's
Sure.
if you want to pull up the mission structure, that's probably a good place to start.
Okay. Concussion protocol. Thank you for
What
the
is
primer
concussion
there.
protocol? Oh, sorry, a different. Sorry, I was trying to figure out, wait, is there a mission that I missed?
Charles had a flashback there to a bonk on the head when he was younger. Thank you, Concussion Protocol, for the primer there. Good to see you in the chat here. I don't think I've seen you around before. If you're new to OOTP, well, you're in for one heck of a ride. And I would recommend, and maybe Charles would too, for new people, play around with the game, have some fun, play some cool cards that you like, and then get ready for when OOTP24 comes out. You want to get out of the gate early with the new game when it comes out. But, we're kind of late in the cycle now. You can still have a lot of fun and still do a lot of things. But I would say prime yourself with this game now for a month or two. And then when the new one comes out, usually at the end of the March, go for it. Okay. So what do I want to look up?
I'd say also, feel free to ask questions. Lap, actually, have you put your Discord link in recently? If not, you should probably do that. It's kind of a nice place to go ask a few questions if you want to,
Sure, I will do that.
Lot of friendly people and good managers in there who are very happy to, kind of tell you about what they're doing and why they're doing it. So.
Yes, and we post some tournament results and a lot of people that know what they're doing that will help you out gladly. And I always thank Charles every time he comes on because sometimes people like to keep things close to the vest and not show off some things because they want to not give away secrets. But Charles has always been open with me and a lot of the community in terms of what he plays. So again, big huge shout out to Charles Isadafo, Kidneys. There's a lot of people out there in the community that share.
Happy to help, but also part of the reason I do this is that when I was starting out, there were people who helped me too. Kidneys has always been really nice with the community. I don't know if you know Cookie, because he's kind of taken a bit of a step back this year, but he kind of really introduced me to stuff. Jericho used to run. I want to say it was a team of some Honolulu teams, I think were the names. I'm now gonna get which wrong. But yeah, a lot of it's a really nice community. So
Okay, so it has fired off. So before we get into the missions, let's go back into the game and fine tune our roster. I recommend everyone in the tournament, now that it's fired off, go back in and make sure that any ineligible players are on the reserve list or benched, because you don't want to lose out on your bounty that way. And other than that, let's go and see what it's done with our team here. Let's go check the strategy. Those are all still good. And you said a one-man rotation. Now, it's not going to start Johan all the time?
Sorry. You can run any rotation you can run with one empty slot. So if you run a one-man rotation with Johan, it's going to try to start Johan every time, even if he's tired, and we're not going to be so happy. But if you run a one-man rotation with one slot empty,
Like this?
then it's just going to start one of our relievers kind of randomly. No. It's not two-man rotation. Actually run a one-man rotation.
Okay.
And then make that, and then you can have one slot empty. So take Johan out.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, it's just going to be like manager's choice. You know, you come to the park and you come to the park and the manager just says, you know what, I'm just going to look at everybody warming up today, and I'm going to decide this is who I want.
Don't we want to put some usage options on some of our better
so
ones?
maybe put use more often for some of the good ones, I think would make sense.
Okay. So Tukulvi?
Tukulvi, yeah, actually Tukulvi maybe make a specialist versus righties. And then you could make, like a middle relief as a second option or something. I wish the secondary role of specialist were a little smarter. The problem is if you make him a secondary role of a specialist, it just assumes that all specialists are meant to be against lefties.
What about Timlin? Do we want him as a specialist?
Yeah, I think he's just pretty good. I think we can just run Timlin more often, maybe.
Oh, I know you're a big Timlin supporter. You like your Cliff Lee and your Mike Timlin.
I do. Well, hold on. Hasn't Timlin, spent his time in Canada too? I thought you've got to be a Timlin fan as well.
Oh yeah, I know. I like Mike Timlin. Yeah, I use him on my team too. So I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay, so I've got used more often on Santana, on not Chapman, on who else? Santana, Dick Lines, Mike Timlin, and Hasegawa.
That sounds reasonable, yeah. And well, I'm just looking at who else we got. Yeah, looks pretty good. And then on the hitters, yeah, it's going to figure out what to do. It is the hope.
It'll figure out what to do. We got Mitch Garver not in the lineup though. We got to put him in, don't we?
Oh, you know what? Okay, well, Ted Simmons' bat is probably worse than Garver's, right?
Probably.
So maybe Garver's actually our DH.
So Garver instead of Tom Holler?
No, Simmons is the DH. Oh, I see.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I see. They're running Simmons one way. Okay, yeah, that works.
Just Simmons and Garver?
Or Holler and Garver could do that. Or Garver and Garver even. What does Holler look like versus I suspect they're both going to end up getting some playing time anyway,
Yeah. Well, we want
Holler's pretty good against righties. Either way.
Or yeah, we'll put Holler. We'll leave it this way. Yeah, we'll leave it this way.
I mean, they're both. The point is, they're both going to get some playing time.
Yeah, we'll just make sure that Garver is primary backup.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, so let's find out before you rip some packs here, who is in the mix here. Oh, look who you know what? It's fitting. We draft Miggy. We don't get to use Miggy, and we play Sporer. Maybe Sporer will give us an exception. He'll let us use Miggy.
You think we could sneak Sporer in? You think we could sneak Miggy in just against Sporer? You think he'd notice?
Oh, that would not be fair, because then it ruins the whole balance of the system.
I know it ruins the whole balance, but do you think Sporer is actually going to complain about Miggy playing against him?
Oh, no, he wouldn't. especially if he lights them up. But you know what? I think we can beat him without. Look at he was only able to get 5 positional players, although he did get Lincecum. He got some good pitchers. He's got Adley, Gary.
That's the PT Elite Adley, so that's a really good Adley. Oh, and Carter.
Yeah, he's. It's a short staff, but it's a powerful.
No, but because we have no perfects on our roster, so that is going to be a problem for us.
Yeah, the Beltre buddies.
Yeah, so don't
look
cut
at
the
that.
Bebop Dragon. That's a good point as well, actually. Your best catcher bat should be a DH so that he doesn't get as much fatigue here, probably. Oh yeah, who are we actually running at catcher? Because at catcher should probably be our best defensive catcher.
It's Russell Martin.
That works. Absolutely works.
Yeah. All right. The Beltre buddies doesn't look like Beltre buddies took the deal because they got a full lineup here. D Dempsey. Come on, man. D Dempsey. All right.
That's all right. The buddies can just bench some players and it'll work out.
Yep. They got Boise. They've got, looks like they went and took the deal. We've got Chess Safari, pretty much like us, 2 positions short there. Dick Shot Dugout. Looks like they have to bench Freddie Lindstrom.
Yep.
And they got some good catchers here. Klondike, Ethan Salas, Mitch Garver as well. Who else? The Peaches. Man, look at these. They got 8 catchers here. I think Matt McLean. Nope. You got to bench Matt McLean. Come on, guys. Do that benching before it fires off. Clowns are in a little bit of difficulty in terms of hitters. The Royals. Got the Spud Davis, Josh Gibson. Oh, so far this is the team to beat. Campanella. Oh, Kansas City Royals on fire. Man, did they get options. They got no starter though. So maybe we have a chance. They got no one in the number 1 slot. Good team there. That's of the teams that took the deal, that's my favorite right now. Who else do we got? Okay, 7 catchers there, including the perfect Adley. So some of you guys got that perfect Adley. Good stuff. The Wolves, they look pretty good. Frank Duncan, Napoli, Gaddis. Whew. How about Ezra? Ezra got 7. And what did everyone except us get this card? Yeesh.
We may be in some trouble here. Yeah.
I mean, we did not make a mistake drafting. I can guarantee that because
we drafted really well.
We drafted pretty much what was available to us. We didn't have a lot of choice. Look at this team, the Rainiers. Except this guy. He's not a catcher. Gotta bench Edgar. And no, Austin Wins is a catcher. So just one player there that I noticed. Again, make sure, guys, that all your pitchers on the card say reliever or a closer. So if you have any starters in there, you have to bench them as well. That looks like you guys did pretty well on that one. And the Devils, Fussmucker, a full lineup. He got Campy. I can't believe our perfect round, we had no relievers, no catchers. John Schreiber in there. And 2 more. The Detroiters we looked at, our first opposition, and the Washington Park Rangers. Going to have to bench Clemente. Otherwise, I think they're good. Reliever, yes. Yes.
Yeah, Strupp is a really good pick in this for a reliever that you can just start.
Oh, there's a starter there. Got to bench
Roberto
Tyler.
Clemente, not so much, but
Yeah. So yeah, I'm finding the odd card that people are going to have to bench. Again, got to say reliever, closer, or catcher. Not that they're eligible to play those positions. It's actually got to say that on the card. So
right.
2 minutes before that fires off, let's take a look at that first round matchup again. Us against Spore. We've got Sundown against the Peaches. Dick Shot Dugout against the Wolves. Tacoma against Chess Safari. Boise, who took us out last tournament, up against Starfleet. How do you pronounce that? Kumamoto?
Kumamoto.
Okay, Kumamoto going up against D. Dempsey's stacked roster. We've got Washington Park against the Clowns, and the Royals, who are my favorite, going up against the Devils. Okay. All right. So you wanted to go into check out the tournaments. Let's go, or the missions. Let's go do
Yeah.
that.
So we can take a look. So there are two sets of missions. There are the missions that got released on the mainstream, but the exclusives is kind of what I was going to show, because this is just all for the new cards that came out. And I think so. Last time, I'm trying to remember if there was an exclusive mission, I think, right, for the 1981s.
Yeah, I think there was. Yeah.
But it was mostly one mission, and most of the cards were packable.
Right.
Right. And here, it's a little different in that there are a bunch of missions, including some interesting looking toppers.
All right. I'm going to log in here because it booted me off, and then we'll go in and take a look at it. Trivia coming up a little bit later. Plus, yes, we will get Warbots.
Or here, I can pull it up on mine instead. Then, if you want, here I'll show. Here you go.
All right.
So here are the exclusive missions. So you see there, what are these? 10, 12. There are 12 missions. Although it looks like one of them is, or two of them are sort of, no, three of them are finish other individual missions. So it's kind of 9 missions that give you individual rewards, and then 3 toppers with this Walter Johnson, Roger Connor, and Tris Speaker. And of those, the one that looks most like a league card to me is the Walter Johnson. The other 2 look like they're maybe more tournament cards. But it depends how difficult they are to get. And there's one other card in here. There are a couple cards in there that I think I want. So here's what they look like. Here's the Tris Speaker. Until you scroll down and see that, you really like him, but so you have this Tris Speaker as a center fielder. We've got a 1913 Walter Johnson. A lot of blue ratings on that card. 108 stamina. And then we've got this Roger Connor. And they did give him a switch hitter for 1886. So as much as that's not quite historically accurate, I think the switch hitter thing very much like fits Roger Connor. So you have these 3 big dead ball cards, but then there are also some interesting 100 overall packables. And in particular, this 3-finger Brown, I think with the reverse splits really fits the park I want to run. So that's also a card that at least I'd like to be running in League. So there are a couple ways you can do it. As you can see, one thing you can do is you can just buy some of these cards because people are getting them out of packs. What I think I'm going to do is, since I'm starting out with none of them, I'm actually going to first buy a few packs and then sort of fill in the gaps, I think is the way I would want to do it.
Okay, so I'm a little bit behind on things, trying to get everything ready for the stream today, but all those perfects you showed are new to the game, like the Connor and Johnson and...
Yeah, they didn't really talk about this on stream, but if you remember the 1981 exclusive set, they had a bunch of these exclusive cards all the way up from Iron on up to the Raleigh Fingers relief pitcher perfect. And if it's like the 1981,
Raleigh was an individual legend that they kind of introduced one day on its own, wasn't he?
Is
Like
it
he
not
wasn't.
Fingers? Who am I thinking of? There was a 100 overall reliever in that set. All right, let me find. Thank you.
Gossage.
Sorry, or it was Gossage was the reliever in that set. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then there was a topper at the end. That was the Fernando.
Right.
Um,
Okay. Well, this is exciting because this is like a Christmas come a few days late because
Yeah,
not
so I
like
think I'm gonna at least, let's see, there are 81 of these, and if I remember correctly, the odds are different in these packs as well. If I remember correctly, it's just the same odds of getting every card, regardless of. So, like each card, you have a 1 in 81 chance of getting the perfect you want. I think it's not that perfects are more rare.
does
At
that
least
say
that's
you
the
can
way
get
it
a
was in the
maximum of
previous.
123? Am I reading that right? Mine says
Yeah, I
5.
don't think I want 123 of them.
Mine says 5. Okay.
All right,
All
let's
right.
get, but let's get 5 and let's see what they look like. I think I'll do a few more. Okay, where are they? Here we go. Let's open up a couple dead ball packs. Haven't looked at any of these, and I'd really like, maybe that 3-finger brown or something.
So
So what do
every
we
card
got?
in these packs are new.
Is one of this new set. It's like the 1981s where they're going to be in for a time limited period. I think the 1981s were in for a week. I don't know if they've explicitly said this will be a week, but I'm guessing it'll be probably similar. We got one gold. Ed Stein. Look at this. Sorry, I wanted to pull up. I guess I can't look at the card from this window, can I?
No, it doesn't show the card profile. Or no, I guess not.
All right, I'll try another one. Hoping for 3 golds here.
Oh,
All
triple
right.
gold.
And I think the
Is it a
odds are supposed to
is
be
it a
the same
gold
for
guarantee?
every.
Is it a gold guaranteed?
I think last time it was just the same odds for every card in the set.
Okay.
So it was not a gold guarantee, but we'll see. But
All
there
right.
aren't as many perfects as others. Okay, Stan Kovaleski got a card. We got a Wilbert Robinson. Harry Buckner, I don't think I've seen that name before in OOTP. Don't know anything about him.
So while you're looking up those ones that you pulled so far, all I can say is, guys, you're going to have to fix some rosters tonight, I think, for tournaments, because I think we're going to have some meta cards here in iron, bronze. It's going to be a fun night.
Does look like so far maybe the odds. So definitely no gold guarantee because there's no gold in this pack. But I don't know if the odds are slanted or not. Last time, I think you had the same chance of getting every card. Of course, there are fewer perfects. But we do seem to be getting mostly the low end here. All right.
Sport,
We got another Ed Stein, I think.
do we have
Oyster Burns. Now, Oyster Burns, that is a name.
Oyster Burns. And yes,
About
put out those
57
duplicates. This is the chance for the new players out there. This is when you want to build up your perfect point count by selling off your duplicates right in the first couple hours.
Yeah,
before the
just when there
market.
aren't so many
Yeah.
copies. Kid Gleason gets a card.
Is there
I don't know.
a list?
I don't know whether we're getting unlucky on the distribution or if it slants toward the low end. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, another
More
triple
golds.
gold.
More golds. All right, Win Kellum. Well, if you got a starter named Win, that's a good sign, right? Danny Murphy, I think we've had some, and another Kovaleski. Yeah, put him up for something in the middle.
I wonder if anyone knows how many perfects of the 81 there are and how many diamonds. Be nice to know diamonds and perfects. I don't know if there's a list on the forums or anything like that of all the cards, but I'm curious how many perfect cards
we can take a look.
and diamonds.
Yeah, I think just put something in the middle. Put something up in the middle there. Well, here we can take a look at the exclusive set, right? I want the non-1981. So it looks to me like there are Connor, Collins, and Brown. So 3 packable perfects, right, out of 81. And About 11 diamonds. So if it really is the same chance of everything, it means we got unlucky, or maybe the odds are a bit different.
Can you, is there a way to sort out the 81s? I don't think so. Is there?
I don't
Unless
think
you
there
put,
is, unfortunately, and I can't do anything by year. No, I don't think I can.
yeah.
I can hide the
Sometimes
ones I own. I can hide the ones I own, but
yeah.
I don't own all the 1981s.
And if you sort by no sell orders, then maybe it might show a lot from today. I don't know.
So maybe the odds aren't as good as last time. It would be nice to get some clarification, but I think let's do 5 more, and then maybe if we kind of aren't getting anything high end, maybe the odds are different, and I should wait and see what the odds look like.
All right,
Let's
let's do 5 more, and then I'm going to open 1 and get 3 perfects in one.
And then you're gonna get your 3 perfect. Well, that does not look good at all. Hub Purdue. That's a heck of a name, right?
Dead ball is my favorite era. I love the dead ball names, the era, the gameplay. You know, from about 1915 to about 1930. Just love that time period.
Yep. All right. Well, take all right. 4 more shots. If we don't get anything big, we're gonna decide maybe the odds aren't so good. That's got a Fred Snodgrass. That's a nice card. Maybe. Oh, look at that eye. All right, that Jimmy Slagle. I think we're gonna like that eye. I think we're gonna like that eye a lot, but nothing good in these packs so far on the high end. Jim Barrett, couple silvers. Yeah, I think we'll have to look at the odds, or maybe it's just the lack of streamer luck.
Maybe.
All right, we got a Solly Hoffman gets another card. That's nice because there's a really good iron Solly Hoffman. And another Kovaleski. All right, I would say the odds may not be as good as we thought. But you want to try one? Let's go ahead and let you try one.
Okay, just wait. I just gotta. Okay, Charles is done opening, so feel free to turn on the streamer luck now. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's done.
I see how this works.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Just give it about a 5-second delay. Okay, I got you. All right. Okay, let's go and try a couple of these. At least I don't have to hunt for it. It's right there.
All right, your turn.
All right, what do we got? Yeah,
you get a diamond.
Confirmed. It's yeah, it's working. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. No,
you get a
that's good.
diamond.
Yeah. He's not too happy. You know, Charles, he's just grumbling and groaning like he opened 10 packs and didn't get a diamond. I know. Just okay. All right. Let's check out what we got here. Jack Doyle.
Nice. Does that one play catcher and I remember we've had ones that play catcher and middle infield, which is nice.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite cards from either last year or the year before. And a diamond. Who do we got? We've got Rube Marquard. All right. Let's just take a look. Ooh, 10,000 for that one. And this one's going for not as much as I thought.
No, but Rube Marquard is kind of a good name there too.
Yeah. Okay, well,
hey, apparently, did I win the pop-up? Because if that means the pop-up finished, then I think that means we all win.
All right, let me get one more because that was a pretty good one, and I hate going out, you know, on the winning note. So I want to fit in with you, Charles, and get one that maybe is not so good. So here we go.
I want to see a 3-finger Brown here.
There we go. Okay. I feel a little bit better. This is probably the worst pack any of us have pulled. Yeah, this is it's nice synchronicity. We got
Oh,
3
you didn't even
bronze.
get a silver.
Okay, enough already. Stop it with that. I know it wasn't good. Just kidding. Okay.
All
So
right.
neither of us in 12 packs, neither of us got a perfect card. We got 1 diamond in 12 packs. And before we move on, we need to go take a look at the double elimination because Charles, I think our day is already done.
Already? Are we already out?
I'm thinking, let's see.
All right.
We lost to Sporer in round
Never letting
1,
that one down.
5-4 in 11 innings.
In 11 innings.
Now, we just got to double check his roster, make sure it's legit, although he doesn't get the
No,
packs
he's not
because
the
he
one that
did,
gets the bounty.
yeah,
And then we
he did not
played. Oh,
knock us out.
did I see we played GT Sundown next?
Then we went and played, yes, the GT Sundown. And where is it here? GT Sundown, round 2, I guess. Where are we? Round 1. And this was a score of 6-1. So GT Sundown definitely knocked us out, but let's take a look. We've got a catcher. Bill Dickey's a catcher. Poindexter.
Catcher. Poindexter. Oh, Poindexter's great. He plays like everything. Mac Eggleston would be a great pick here. That looks pretty
Klondike.
catchery to me. I think
Reliever. Felix Bautista in center field. You don't see that too often.
Yep.
Pitchers.
I think well done to GT Sundown. Nice build and congrats on the packs.
Yeah, I'm surprised GT lost his first game with that build because that's a pretty good build. All right, so GT Sundown is the winner of the first 5 packs, and the second 5 packs will go to whoever wins the tournament, as long as they have met the deal and no one that's not a relief pitcher or a catcher has played a single third of an inning. Okay. At least we don't have to focus on that anymore. All right, let's go back.
I just can't believe we're bandering around like, Rube Marquardt insults in chat, and no one said he called him a Rube.
Well, I feel like we have to do the other giveaway now that we started a while ago.
Oh, the other giveaway.
The other giveaway, yes.
And by the way, I apologize to certain people in the chat in advance for the trivia this week.
Spoiler. Okay, closing this off in a few seconds. And we are all the late entries coming in. All right. Leo Remus was the last one in. Let's see if that helps him win 5 packs here. Congratulations go to. Can we give D Dempsey for stacking his roster? Can we give him any packs today?
Ooh, I don't know. Just stacking your roster disqualify you? That's a good question.
I don't know. Maybe we should maybe we should go and just take a look at his roster. Maybe he fixed it. Maybe he fixed it. I don't know. Maybe we're on mute and he didn't catch the rules. Let's go check his roster one more time. That was the Beltray buddies. Beltray. Oh yeah, he's got his pitchers okay. That's good. I think it's Hoyt Wilhelm a reliever. Yeah.
Syndergaard not so much, but
no. It says starter. Yeah. So D Dempsey is disqualified. Well, he hasn't pitched though.
Oh, he hasn't pitched yet. Actually, hold on. Morehone's a reliever, so no, we're okay. Morehone's a reliever.
Oh, he pitched.
That's true. No, but Morehone's a reliever. That's fine.
No, but Randy Johnson pitched.
No, but that's the reliever, Randy Johnson, right?
Nope. Starter.
Oh, no, it's a start. Okay.
Yeah. So close, so close. Let's just
I think he
check.
tried. He tried. I think if he tried, we can give him the packs.
Yeah, I think he
What do you
tried.
think?
Yeah, I know D Dempsey's good in spirit, and he would not do that just to mess us up. Yeah,
All right.
and a lot of his hatters. So D Dempsey, you won the random draw. If you win the in-game draw here, though, you'll just win the in-game packs for not taking the deal, and that's a rule. You don't have to take the deal. You can go for the in-game packs and play the spoiler.
Oh,
And
you know
that's what
what? You know
happened.
what? This is the way we're going to win the bounty. Next time, instead of the rule being whoever knocks us out wins the packs, it should be whatever team we beat last. Whatever our last win is, that's the team that gets the packs.
You're complicating this. Don't be so complicated.
Oh well.
Okay. All right, let's go and take a look at some of the cards now because we've got a lot to look at. We're not
Sure,
going to
let's
look
look at
at
some cards.
we're not going to look at the new the in-game dead ball cards because we don't have profiles on all those guys. We would have to go in one by one. Let's take a look first, Warbot, at the cards they did not show on stream. So these were the ones that this showed 15 out of 22, I believe. These were the ones not shown. So maybe you can discuss them quickly. We have,
Sure,
I
I'm
think, one iron.
just pulling up the card database to be able to do that sensibly.
Low iron or low silver, Jack McDowell. The eye test says probably, is not gonna make too many rosters in low iron or tournaments. But I've been
No,
wrong
I think
before.
that's just behind a lot of the low irons that have come out recently.
Yeah, yeah, or silver. We both
Or,
say iron. Yeah, this is silver. Silver. Okay,
well, in that
let's move.
case, let's go on.
Steve Stone. I like the pitcher BABIP. It's for a gold. It's up there with pitcher BABIP. Controls a little bit low. Again, there's so
Those are
many good.
huge splits for a starter, also.
Yeah.
Like I think, especially in gold, we were just looking this morning at how splitty some of the cards are. Some of those left-hand bats that just clobber righties to begin with are going to love facing Steve Stone. I think, yeah.
Oh, D Dempsey's out as well. He was the other team on the B side that got knocked out. That's kind of surprising considering some of the players that he had. But wow.
Yeah, I think we can skip Steve Stone.
Yeah, no D Dempsey. D Dempsey, no, don't mess with that form. Unless you put the gladiators with bonus points. No. Yes, D Dempsey made the laptop leisure level, lower level form for me. So I'm just giving him a hard time. We're both educators. We have a lot of similar things. He likes the Rangers. I don't. So, I mean, okay. Steve Stone.
Wait, you gave packs to someone that likes the Rangers?
Let's move on. Baltimore Orioles. Steve Stone. Again, there's so many good gold meta cards.
I think the lefties are just going to clobber that card.
Yeah. If you missed it on the pre-hype show today, Charles went through his meta gold players that you should really consider if you play gold tournaments. So again, go watch that VOD. He went through 7 or 8 pitchers. He went through the hitters, left, right-handed hitters. So yeah, he gave us his secrets to the gold meta. Next card they did not show was an Oakland A, Dwayne Murphy. Now, did they show him because he's an Oakland A or because it's Dwayne Murphy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Eye is a good thing. Power is a good thing. But again, too many gold that just outplay this. Although center field defense got to be a little bit.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that 104 range in center is kind of unique. So I think the range in center is enough that, there's situations you would want to just play that defense in center. Like I might try starting him and just taking that center field defense, especially if you're comparing him, a lot of people are running Cheney White there, who doesn't have a lot of defense and is more of a bat. This is kind of the opposite profile. So I think this is at least the best defensive center fielder that has some, the best bat for a defensive center fielder. And that's enough that he might he's going to play in some bills. Like we're talking about this morning, gold is really nice because you have a lot of cards that it's not just this one's better than than the others at everything and always put him in. You have real choices. This is a real choice in center. Either you're going to run him for the defense or you're going to run someone else for the bat.
Right. And speaking of that, so this is a card that, I'm going to try, if I get a hold of it, I'm going to put him in against the righties. Again, here's one of those platoon situations that you say is a problem in gold because there's so many platoons that you want, but you can't use every
you got to
single
make your tough
platoon.
choice.
Yeah. So let me just bring up this screen here. So you had Cameron as one gold center fielder and White as the other. So there's a possibility then that he may replace White in center field?
I think so, yeah. Again, it's an offense versus defense trade-off. White has the bigger bat, Murphy has the better glove. You're kind of deciding which one's more important for your build.
Yeah.
Also, White is more flexible. He plays several positions. Murphy just plays center.
Right. Yeah, I agree, Spore. The baseball reference card art allows for the logos to stand out so much better. Like those dead ball cards, I love dead ball, but the cards are a little bit tough to read sometimes with the card art they have. But these ones here, it's so crisp and clean, and the logos just pop. That Oakland A's, yeah, the green and yellow. Reminds me of the California Golden Seals hockey team from the 1970s. They used those same colors because, of course, they were from the same area. Okay, next up. Now, this card I like for dead ball. I think it's a good dead ball shape. You even got some hitting ability for a pitcher. How does he hold up in low diamond?
Try someone you're showing. Catfish. Okay, catfish. That's right. I was gonna say I was trying to find the slide you were showing, and it's because it wasn't one of the ones on screen. So I've still got Sunny Gray as kind of, far above everyone else. But again, I just feel like this is probably not enough on the card, is my guess. So
Now,
I
how
think
would he play?
what?
How would he play in that the new tournament that Dish put out there, the Ball Go Far tournament, which is 1924, I think.
Yeah, I think that one would fit better. Yeah, I think it would fit better in that tournament, especially because that tournament is uncapped. I know it says 2024 cap, but in an early era, you can get away with running 19 or 20 players, period, on your roster. So that means a cap that's over 2,000 for that era basically is just pick any player you want, essentially.
Oh, boiled egg. I did not realize that the same owner for the Oakland A's and the California Golden Seals. Oh, cool.
Huh.
That's what I love about boiled egg. He knows his hockey. He knows his history of hockey. That logo is wrong. Isn't it the Las Vegas A's? Ooh. Maybe we don't want to go there quite yet. All right. So Catfish Hunter. The other card they did not show was the Robbie Ray, a Blue Jay. Hey, we got some Blue Jay love. Again, the logo just pops there. Great blue and red goes with the card. A lot of control.
A lot of control. There was a point that kind of profile would have worked pretty well. But they're just enormous, especially right hand, but just enormous power hitters in low diamond right now. I think that card's just going to get clobbered by them.
Yeah. Is there any environment where it can play fairly well? 60s, 50s, 30s?
It's better in an earlier era, but the problem is that in an earlier era, now the stuff stops being helpful. So you're wasting a lot of the stats on the card again.
Right. For those new players out there, the earlier you go in the eras time period, the less important that stuff is, and the more important control becomes as you go early. Well, control is always important, but you don't need to focus as much on stuff.
Right.
Frank McCormick, some Cincinnati red love here. High diamond 95. We got some blue there. Again, very splitty. Looks pretty good against the lefties, but
I think the problem is first base is just stacked. I mean, the problem is, like, you can look at that card as a first baseman and compare him with, like, the Norm Cash or Willie McCovey, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can put one of those up if you want, but it sort of just ends up not being close, unfortunately.
And we saw the Willie McCovey, the power of that card in the Invitational that Izadafo had on his team. So if you're a Reds theme teamer, if you're a Cincinnati Reds fan and you want to play this card, he'll do well for you. But again, there are other first basemen. First base is always a logjam of talent out there, including the new Miggy, that he would have to go up against in league play. So here's the Willie McCovey.
Yeah, here's McCovey, here's Norm Cash. I mean, there's just a lot of blue in those bats.
Yeah. Okay, and the last one they didn't show on screen, a reliever who's, pretty well balanced, fairly good control for a reliever, where a lot of times we see relievers that suck with control. High stuff, not going to give up a lot of home runs. Can you use him somewhere in your high diamond rotation?
Yeah, well, actually, that card has an almost identical shape. Like, compare the shape to the Tanner Scott that just came out. Just try putting those two cards up against each other. They're actually really, really similar.
Yeah. One's low diamond though, one's high diamond. So there's that major
Well, that's
difference.
True, but Tanner Scott has been sort of the best reliever in full diamond as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so Rosenthal's not eligible for low diamond, but Tanner Scott's playing in full diamond, so Rosenthal should be similar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one card that when I saw it, I go, whoa, that's going to play. Especially having control that is manageable. So grab yourself a Rosenthal.
And I think that one's easy to know how it's going to play because there really is a card that has an almost identical shape. So you don't have to do a lot of modeling to find it. You just kind of, yeah.
And there you go. Sporer had that same thought in mind that you had there. So
pretty much, yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, they're really, really similar.
All right, let's go through a couple more, and we're going to get to our trivia after our next ad break, which kicks in a couple minutes, and then we'll go on to some trivia. This card, when I saw it, I thought immediate replacement for Barry Larkman. Proved me wrong.
Yeah, well, I think it's a righty. I think that sounds reasonable. This card is a little bit more balanced than Larkin. And so that means I'm going to be a little bit more inclined to think about running him on both sides. If, we're just talking about in gold, like how do you find a way to save a position? And you could save a position by running Lindor on both sides. It was hard to find a way to save a position by running Larkin on both sides because the split was too big. But if I think gold is more lefty, maybe this is the card you want to run both sides.
Right. And again, earlier this morning, Charles went through his meta gold lineup for a neutral kind of park. Ideally, the cards you would want if you could play them, and Barry Larkin was the choice for shortstop versus the left-handed pitchers. This card here that we see with Bell, I think replaces him. So get yourself a J. Bell card. Okay, well, let's take a break, Charles. When we come back, we'll kickstart trivia. We'll look at a couple more cards after that.
By the way, do you know if it's confirmed anywhere what the distribution is in the exclusive packs?
I don't know.
I didn't see it, but maybe that's a question to ask if anyone in chat has seen one. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, we'll get the trivia
back in 2 minutes, and Spore, I'll look up that font. I'll let you know when we get back from the break. All right, we're back, and the break is just about to end. A spore that's called Berlin, like the city Berlin, SANS font. So yeah, I'm sure it sounds like it's a common font that's probably used. So that is the one that I use for that slide showing Warbot's gold meta. Okay, let's get on to some trivia here. Now that we're back from the break, let's start up
All
the
right.
trivia. For those new people, Charles, let them know what they have to do if they want to enter.
Real easy. If you mouse over your screen on the right side, you go to Quiz Kit. It'll pop up. You click on it, go to Manage Access, and simply give it access to see your username so that you get to be on the scoreboard.
All right. And
Question will pop up. You answer it right, you get points. You answer it wrong, you lose points. Most points wins. Quicker you answer it, the more it's worth. And I apologize in advance for this.
Well, let's just say to do well, you probably need to have paid attention the last week to my streams, to Warbot streams, to Spore streams. You had to tune in over the last week. How do you want to distribute prizes? First and second again, or first and last?
Sure, yeah, we can, it's good to give people an incentive to try to get them right,
Okay. First and second. All right. All the instructions should be on the screen there. Again, make sure you connect your Twitch name in.
No, but there is a clear theme to well, you can tell people the theme. I don't think it spoils them to tell them the theme, right?
I'll give them a couple questions first. See if they can figure it out. Chat, let us know what the theme is after the first couple questions, as soon as you think you know. So let's start with question 1. Let's do 5 questions. Look at a few cards. We'll do 5 more. Look at a few cards.
All right, sure. Ready? Here we go. What MLB player is nicknamed La Mole? It's probably pronounced differently, but
All right. Reyes, Furman, Prato, or Olivares?
And we'll say if anyone can figure out the theme, feel free to tell us in chat. Because I don't think the theme's going to spoil anything here.
Yeah. Charles, I'm going to disconnect you and then have you come back in because there's a little bit more lag with you than usual.
Oh.
And sometimes coming back in. So
sure.
Yeah,
you want me to just leave and come back?
Yep.
Let me try that.
All right. Answers are in, and let's see how you guys did. La Mole. 10 of you got that one right.
This working better?
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
So nicknames, the real Vanilla Gorilla saying
I'm gonna pronounce it La Mole because it sort of works better for this.
Well, whoever's contestant 373, again, make sure you connect your Twitch name to the game here because we can't give away packs to contestant 373. But a lot of people knew that one. Go on to question 2.
Sean Saul says he's not getting the answers. Well, that's the whole point of the game, you see.
I'm not getting any answers anyway. Or do you mean you're not getting the choices? The choices are not coming up for you.
Okay, if the choices are not popping up, I would try reloading, maybe.
Yeah. Refresh your Twitch stream and then go back to your quiz kit and reconnect your account and see if that is working. So while Sean's doing that, so he doesn't lose out on another question here, was the theme nicknames?
No, it wasn't. But the theme is related to something. If you were paying attention to the streams this week, you might have seen.
Okay. No last place prizes today. No, we're just going first and second. But you know what? Next time we'll do a last place one because I know some of you really enjoy last place. So we'll do one next week. All right. Question 2.
All right. Speaking of moles, Carlton Molesworth. That's a great name. Managed to put up a 14.63 ERA and over -1 WAR in just 16 innings pitched in his cameo in the majors for what team in 1895?
I think I know who his catcher was.
You know who his catcher was?
About the right time period.
I will say, if we ever get to do like a good baseball name, Carlton Molesworth, I think is got to be up there with some good baseball names. If we do another set like that, you know.
Charles, cards can't go below 40. You realize that, right?
Well, come on, you get to be on the Tony Suck team. The Tony Suck. What's the opposite of All Stars?
Non all stars. Mind you, if you had Win as your pitcher, maybe it improves his game a little bit.
I will say Carlton Molesworth. I feel like Carlston Molesworth, like, really had to have a monocle, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He should be like the Monopoly guy.
I'm curious if is there a picture of Carlton Molesworth? Okay, there's a baseball card of Carlton Molesworth. If you go to his
What?
Wikipedia page, there's a baseball card of Carlton Molesworth. All right, you can find this. Should I give you? Or just Google him. It's on the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
You could pull that out here. I'll put it in the.
Carlton Molesworth.
That is not what I thought a Carlton Molesworth would look like. I'm gonna be honest.
Whoa. He's there's his 14.63 ERA. Yeah.
Yep.
Just played 4 games in his career. You must be using him in Perfect League, right? This week?
Possibly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's go on to question number 3.
All right. How about a really slow card? What PT card, what hitter, has a speed rating of 0?
Ken Singleton, Benji Molina, Greg Luzinski, or Cecil Fielder?
Trying to figure out, speed rating of 0. I should look up now where that came from that season.
Interesting. There's only one card with one hitter with a speed rating of 0?
Yeah, most of them at least have 1 or 2 or something. This one's just got a 0.
Yeah, I'm not sure, LFC, why options aren't coming up for you. Sean, did it get fixed for you when you reloaded your stream and you reloaded QuizKit? Did it come back in? Seems to be working for most people, but I would recommend, you close down Twitch, come back into Twitch, maybe even relog back into Twitch. Oh, there you go. So for Sean, once he reloaded, it started to work. So that seems like the fix.
Okay, well then I'm not sure what's wrong, but as long as we got a fix, let's hope that's going to be good enough.
So Ken Singleton, are you talking the tournament edition Ken Singleton?
Yeah, I can pull up the card. He's actually got a 0.
We want proof. Show us proof. Where are the receipts?
1 second. Oh, I probably am not sharing screen again because I did the whole.
Caged Wisdom was the quickest on that one. Mr. Audits came in second on that question.
Yep, this 1977 Ken Singleton speed actually has a stealing of 0. All the others have at least something. This card actually, for some reason, where is the stealing? But it's a 0.
What happened, Spore? Did you forget that category or what? Did he have any stolen bases that year?
1977, he was 0 for 1.
Okay. 0 it is. Yeah.
0 stealing, 2 speed, 0. The only one with a 0. They all get a 1. For some reason, this card actually, they gave him a 0 stealing. All right. What do we got next? All right. Should we go on?
Yeah.
Oh, does anyone have the theme yet? Next one might help a little bit, if not, for the theme.
All right. What do we got?
All right. Who is the all-time leader in home runs as a Texas Ranger?
Speaking of those Rangers, Juan Gonzalez, Alex Rodriguez, Adrian Beltre, or Rafael Palmiero. D. Dempsey, I expect you get this one right. Hero Driver, if you're here, another Texas Ranger fan. Spore is coming up with, slowness, molasses. Pork Chop, are you a Ranger fan too? I don't think Cub fan Steve, I don't think that's the theme Charles had in mind. I could be wrong. I don't think so. All right, what do we got? We've got answers in. 11 people got this one right. Hopefully, Pork Chop, you were able to get this one right. Pork Chop. Oh, Pork Chop. No, I don't see that one in the correct column there. Rob Deere and Headlights. Quickest to get that one right. And Caged Wisdom in first place overall. Okay, Charles, one more and then we'll go back to some cards.
All right. Got to go back to a PT question, I think. Everybody's favorite card. Just simply, what type of card is the 100 overall Ben Sheets?
Oh, I love this. How many people paid attention to the type of card? I know you have him and Ken Caminiti in your perfect lineup the way that it's going.
Yep, absolutely. Terrible type.
Is it an all-time legend, historical all-star, snapshot, and hardware heroes? And for those of you new to the game, every year there's a meme card, a card that people just love to hate. This year it's Ben Sheets. Last year it was Rob Deere and Headlights. Help me out. Who was that perfect card? I pulled on stream one time.
There were a few. Was the Shane Boz. Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Yes.
The future legend that was not very good.
Boz. It was Boz. All right, 7 people did remember that it was a snapshot.
Yep.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever collected cards when you were young, Charles. Did you ever do that?
A little bit, yeah.
Sports cards. The ones we didn't like, we put in our bike spokes, or we just take them between our 2 fingers like this, and we'd flick them. And you'd have contests with your friends, and whichever one went furthest, you got to keep both cards. I'd be doing that with the Ben Sheets card.
See, I was a kid right at the point that like people thought cards were going to be valuable. So like you'd get them as presents, and then everyone would tell you like just put them away in a closet, don't touch them, don't play with them, like they're going to be worth something someday. And then of course they aren't because everybody did that.
Well, if you came in the early 90s collecting cards, that's when they just flooded the market. Hockey, baseball. I collected in the late 70s and 80s, so I do have some that have held some value. But once we got into the 90s, it just went off the rails.
Yep.
So boiled egg, if you have any of those score cards from 1991, I don't think they're worth very much. Okay, let's go and look at a couple more cards here. People want to know, Charles, who to put in their lineup. So let's look at some more of these cards.
Sure.
Right fielder, low diamond, Tony. You like everything. If we could hide the eye, I think you might like this card.
Well, the good news is it's really easy to hide the eye because he won't notice. Yeah, the eye is a problem.
Okay. And yeah, there's again so many really good diamonds out there, although low diamonds not as much, because we saw in the invitational with Izadafo taking McCovey first. There's not a lot of really good low diamond hitters, but that eye just prevents this one from getting in there.
Yep. And after this card's printed, there's still not a lot of good low diamond hitters.
Yeah, there's still, and well, we don't know with those dead ball guys, but all right. Yep. Miguel Tejada, shortstop. Again, I would imagine too much competition. Jack Glasscock probably still one of the cards in the top 5 for high diamond shortstop.
So I think first off, with that range, I know this card's listed at shortstop, but this is really a third baseman. And to be fair, that's kind of probably true to form also, right? Tejada was always, more a bat first, like in this era where you put a big bat at shortstop that can sort of play the position. Because I guess everyone looked at sort of Cal Ripken and said, maybe I can put a big guy there, who can hit. And, so everyone started doing that. So I think this is a fair card in that sense. The problem is he doesn't have the glove to think about short, but at third, now you're up against the enormous bats. Now this is competing with Dick Allen, or actually the Eric Chavez we're about to talk about. So I don't think you're going to be able to make him work at third just because there are huge bats there.
Right. Okay. Let's have a serious conversation here, Charles. Like, can you get serious for a couple minutes?
Okay.
You get serious. We're almost through this cycle. Isidafo has always been, you don't need a glove at third. Well, you still need a glove. You just don't need as good of a glove.
Yeah.
Have you come around yet? Have you wavered on a little less defense for third base? Be honest.
I think it's different in tournaments and league because the way things get normalized. So I think in league, I still want a good defensive third baseman. In tournaments, I think I am willing to play less defense at third, in part because P. Babbitt kind of helps balls find gloves.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But certainly, this is actually a decent defensive third baseman. It's not a high-end defensive third baseman. It's decent enough. It's just the problem is, he's not.
Oh, did Charles just go silent for anyone else or only me?
How about this? Is this better?
That is better. Yes. Okay. Charles is back. Wasn't me this time, Charles.
Okay. Well, good. So no one ever heard me say anything about defense. But as much as this is kind of a good bat versus lefties, it's just now he's up against Dick Allen and Kevin Mitchell, and those are really, really good bats.
Now this one, on the other hand, against the righties.
Yeah, because there aren't as many of those. So again, he's a third baseman with decent defense. But this is also a pretty good bat, right? And there aren't as many of these really big bats versus righties. So I think this card or Beckwith are sort of the two that I might think about playing at third against righties. This card, is a little bit better defensively than Beckwith for kind of whatever you're going to get out of that. The bats are both good, but Beckwith plays more positions and in particular can back up catcher, as well as playing short. So I think this is a card that if you have room for on your roster, you're going to look at playing, but you might end up deciding, because there are all these multi-position players on your roster that will play third, Beckwith, Nolan Jones, Spencer Steer, Dick Allen, maybe. It's possible that he'll get squeezed out as well. I'm not sure until I try building a roster with him.
Right. Okay. Again, really good eye, really good power, and someone you might want to consider versus the righties. Let's do one more, and then we'll go back to trivia. Cargo, left field, 3-position eligibility, range is a little bit low. Not going to make a lot of errors out there. But again, that low eye is probably the first thing that's for you anyway.
Yep.
Takes him out of the picture.
I mean, the eye at least means that it's not going to be quite an elite bat. But also the glove is not really good enough that I want to play him in center and diamond if I can get away with it. So as a center fielder, this is a really good bat if you think he can stick in center. And look, this happens a lot with players that play premium defensive positions. The reason they're stars is because their bat is really good for the premium defensive position they play. if you have to play cargo in a corner instead, there's just enormous bats in the corners right now. There's a Chuck Klein, Vlad Guerrero, Evan Carter with a big bat and also plays defense. So I think the only way you'd be interested in this card is if you think you're willing to run him in center. And I'd actually much rather run the McCutcheon you're about to show than this card if I had the choice.
Yeah, great point by Sporer that certain players, the build for that player just don't fit at certain times in the cycle. And it may be more appropriate for early on in the cycle to have these kind of players where they will fit into the meta a little bit more compared to later on. And Durden says he's going to be playing cargo in the Thursday, whatever HIF is, DC. Charles, did you get the coding on that? I don't.
Some kind of cap. Is that the judges' chambers? Sorry, the high iron floor diamond cap. That's right. There's a weekly that's just starting. Diamond cap, high. Well, there's a high gold floor and a high iron floor weekly cap. There are two
There
of
you
them.
go.
I think the
High
iron
floor
floor
diamond cap.
Yeah, you could do that. So for me, I did decide to put a new card in center there, but I decided to play McCutcheon instead. Just because I like the bat better, and I think the defense is also probably a bit better.
Okay, Charles, let's get back to some trivia questions. We'll do 5 more, and then we'll come back to some cards.
Did anyone get the theme yet, I wonder?
We've had slowness. We've had, guys that can't run very well. We've had, I don't think anyone's hit the theme yet, the actual theme that you had in mind.
All right. Well, then let's continue on, shall we?
Yep. Spore in first place so far. Caged Wisdom in second. Landis, WX, and Mr. Audit rounding out the top 4.
All right. We going on then?
Yep.
All right.
Oh,
Speaking
just,
of bench
just wait, Charles. Just wait, Charles. Looks like Twitch wants to throw another ad at us, so we don't want to push
an ad,
during
and
that.
then we're going to.
That's right.
Yep.
Back in 2 minutes' time. All right, we are back, and we're back with our continuation of trivia. So get your hands back on that dial and get ready to answer. Next up.
All right, and we still have not had a guess of the theme. So, all right. Well, we were just talking about Ben Sheets. So actually, speaking of that excellent Ben Sheets, in which of these categories did Ben Sheets have a season leading the league?
Hit by pitch, wins, strikeouts, or losses. Which did he lead the league in? The NL.
Yes.
Well, it was a perfect card, so I'm guessing it must be wins, right? With a
It's
perfect
funny because
card?
I was going to say he never played in the American League, but I was wrong. I forgot he actually spent a season in Oakland.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Yep.
In PT, for sure, it's losses, right? As Sporer says.
Yeah. In PT, it's got to be losses for sure. Yeah.
And in real life, it was losses.
It was, in fact, losses. In 2002 for the Brewers, he led the league with 16 losses. Well, you know, his best season was 2004, and that's not the Ben Sheets in the game. So there is still room for a peak Ben Sheets.
That would, bookend the cycle really well. Okay, question 7.
All right, and still no guesses on the theme. We'll see if this one helps with the theme instead. How many Hall of Famers played for the Minneapolis Millers?
0, 3, 8, or 14. How many current Hall of Famers played at one time for the Minneapolis Millers?
Yep.
And they were, I won't say anything else about this team because there's some more questions coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to give away free answers.
No.
Well, Charles, you stumped everyone.
Wow. Yeah, the Minneapolis Millers had quite a long and storied history in the minors. I'll give you the list. So actually, there are only 13 on the Wikipedia list, but that is because Wikipedia, for some reason, does not list Roger Bresnahan as a Hall of Famer. But in addition to Bresnahan, who really should be on their list, Orlando Cepeda, Jimmy Collins, Ray Dandridge, Red Faber, George Kelly, Billy Herman, Monty Irvin, Willie Mays, Rube Waddell, Zach Wheat, Hoyt Wilhelm, Ted Williams, and Carl Yastrzemski all played for the Minneapolis Millers.
So there you go. There is the list right there. Big league chewing gum. Oh, that's talk about the likeness on Mo Berg, huh? Looks just like him.
Yep.
Mo Berg. All right. Willie Mays. I did not know he played with that team.
Yep.
Philippe
I don't know if that helps anybody to guess the theme.
Iron Legend.
Not, we can go on to the next one. Then.
Well, Andre Dawson looks like he stole the nickname. Ralph Branca was nicknamed the Hawk.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. See, if it wasn't for Perfect Team and OOTP, I would not know much about a lot of these guys. But playing this game, you just get to know some of these names so well. Like Deacon and Stu Miller, like the PTCS Stu Miller. What a stud he is in gold. Still playable in gold.
Still not getting the theme. All right. I think I would have thought people would be getting the theme by now. Maybe this was too hard. All right. Well, we'll keep going.
Next up.
Actually, speaking of the Millers, they actually were involved in one of my favorite baseball trades because they were actually traded for another minor league team.
Who were they traded for? St. Paul Saints, San Antonio Missions, the San Francisco Seals, or the Arkansas Travelers? And I missed that when I showed the logo for San Antonio on the pre-TWIP show, and you said,
I was going to say, you might not want to tell people before this question because you're going to actually push them in the wrong direction here, I think. because it was not the missions they were traded for.
There is the limbo.
What happened was, you know, well, a team moved, you know, they used to be a Giants affiliate, and the Giants moved to the West Coast, right?
Yep. Are there a lot of seals on the West Coast? Because the California Golden Seals, the San Francisco Seals, what's up with seals in California?
Well, there are more than there are in San Antonio.
Yes, I agree. All right, who got that one? Two people got that one. Rob Deere in Headlights and Jeff W. 0908 were the only two to get that one correct. And Caged Wisdom has taken the overall lead over Spore, Landes, and Mr. Audit. Okay, keep them firing. No one's got the theme yet.
No one's got the theme yet. All right. Well, if no one's got the theme yet, I think this next question really should give it away. All right. Should we go on? All right. How many expected runs are added on a successful sacrifice bunt with runners on first and second and nobody out?
Expected runs 0.18, 0.69, 0.02, or 0.45.
Is it a good idea to bunt?
That doesn't happen. We never see teams bunt runners on first and second with 0 out and then bunt into a double play. We never see that, do we?
What I should have asked, now what I could have asked, and would have been an even better question to ask here, is how many expected runs are added if they actually turn the double play at third as well?
Oh, how many zeros does that go? You have to use a square root on that one, I think, don't you?
Yep.
All right, 7 people were able to get that one correct. Rob Deere in Headlights, second question in a row. Man, I bet you he's guessing, because to get 14,901, you have to be guessing, or just your eyes pinpointed that right away. So Spore back into
I
the
rock
lead.
this. It is actually a negative play, even if you execute it. And if you don't execute it, it's an even more negative play.
Okay, well, I think the theme should be obvious, but no one's really come in with it yet.
People picked up on the theme yet?
Not yet. Okay, let's have another one.
No one's picked up on the theme. All right. This is the laptop version of the question, I think. But I just had to do the laptop version of this question. What position did Isidro Fabre play most in 1926, the year on his Negro League card in PT? Card listed
Left
4
field?
positions.
Yeah. Left field, center field, right field, or pitcher. What did he play the most in 1926? Isidrofo. Isidrofo.
All right. I think GT Sundown has got it figured out here.
There you go. It took 10 questions, but yes.
It did,
questions.
yep. So we had our couple questions about the moles, and then we had our, our slow question for Snail Man. We had, of course, our Dallas Skyline slugger, with all those home runs. We don't even need to talk about Ben Sheets, right?
We know who that relates to, yes.
We had the Millers. Sorry again about the bunt question.
Yes, well done. Very creative. I mean, Charles puts together some very creative quizzes for us. All right, let's go back.
You know what? I think we gotta give Isidafo a real question, though.
Okay, let's do one more and then go back to the cards.
What iron third baseman has the highest third base defense?
Mike Cubbage, Dave Kingman, Pinky Whitney, or Shane Halter. See, I would have got this one wrong. I thought it was someone else.
Basically, who's Isidafo's favorite, iron third baseman?
I would have went with the legend opening game third base meta iron Dave Kingman, but it is not Dave Kingman.
No, it is in fact Izadafo's new favorite iron card.
See, no one knew that.
Wow. That was a tough one.
Yeah, most people went with who I would have went with, Dave Kingman.
That's what I thought. But no, Shane Halter actually has 101 rating at third base.
Wow.
The new one that just came out, and it's kind of sneaky because he plays everything else also. He's a really good defensive second baseman. He's a really good defensive third baseman.
Well, you're putting together some tough questions because after 11 questions, our high score in the whole trivia is just over 10,000 with Caged Wisdom. So it's a tough one. All right, let's do one more.
Not expect a shutout on that. All right. Well, I guess I got to add one for my team too, right?
Yeah.
So we'll give my team one also. What
The answer is
historical
I.
100 overall hitter has the lowest I?
Cal Ripken Jr. from the PTCS, Josh Hamilton, Willie Davis, the tournament edition, or Pudge from Immortal. Who has the lowest overall I? And what is that number?
I can pull the card up. It may shock you to know that I do not own this card. Do not own this card, but I can pull it up.
There he is.
I actually don't know how many copies of this card got pulled. Is this one of the ones that's out of packs? I don't remember.
With an overall I of 45.
Yes.
Well, 3 people knew that one, including Dono, I Rock This, and Alandis knew that question. So that propels Mr. Audits into the lead with 4 or 5 more questions to go. So we'll get back to that. We'll finish that off in just a bit, but let's go and take a look at a few more of today's mission cards that came out. We left off on Cargo. Oh,
yep.
Glad it's an Expo. Finally, we got the Pedro Expo. Oh man, I hope I get this card. And the best thing is it's a 99.
Yep.
Woo. This is going to play in high
and he's got
dime.
a ton of stamina. You know, because I remember, Pedro, as he got a little later in his Sox career, he'd always be great, and then you'd get around to the 6th or 7th inning, and you'd sort of get worried.
And he won't bunt into a double play.
No, he won't.
He's got some good bunt on him.
So,
okay, where does he fit with the Oral Hershiser, the Mad Bomb? Where does he go into that group?
I now have, I think it's 10 or 11 of these high diamond starters that are really all about equally strong. And this is one of them. This is one of the ones that has higher stamina. And this is also one of the ones that costs you 99 in a cap, whereas some of the others are, a 98 or a 97. So I think he's definitely going to be, up there. I don't think he's must-have because I think he's one of a lot of fairly similar cards. But if you're me and you like the player as well, this is one of the ones you're going to pick to play. And I think he's as good as the others. It's just I think you've really kind of got this situation where there are, probably 10 cards that are similar enough that you could almost pick any 5 and do about as well.
Well, there's some trash talking going on in the chat here. I don't know. Are we going to put up with that, Charles? Spore, are we going to put up with that? Wow, GT Sundown, GT Sundown, by the way, is my Montreal Expo EMLB manager. He's got me playing in AA right now. I think I'll get boosted up soon. But he's had quite the run in Perfect Team in many different areas over the last week. I see his name come up on the championship board a few times. So he won the lap tournament yesterday. He knocked out Spore and our team today in the bounty. So GT, you are on quite the successful run in Perfect Team. He beat us both.
Nicely done.
Now we have to put up with it for the next week
Yeah,
at least. So
I think that's fair, right? You know, you can criticize him and it'll just points to the scoreboard, and we just kind of gotta agree.
he won the because I know he was asking what card he should took. I think he took the Vlad Guerrero. You took the Vlad Guerrero in that one, the historical AMPD. Who is in the finals in the bounty, by the way? Don't make me pull it up, GT Sundown. If you lost in the semis, who made the finals? All right. Pedro Martinez, one of many similar cards. I can see if you're, pinching a cap point here or there, why you might go with the Earl Hershiser just to save on that. But definitely, if I get Pedro, I'm playing him. One of my favorite players, and Expo all around, just great
Yeah,
player for the game.
and I'm definitely playing him in any kind of cap with a low floor, because with the 102 stamina, I'd rather spend the extra point or two to get a lot more stamina than a card like Corbin Burns.
Right. Okay. Next up, a card you mentioned a little bit earlier that you're going to play in this high iron diamond cap, Andrew McCutchen in center field. Why do you like him
and I
so
think
much?
and note that he is eligible in the corners as well, right? It was mentioned on stream that and the card does run in the corners, not just center.
Oh, so it just doesn't show on this slide here, but he will play
Doesn't show on
left
the
and
slide, but he's eligible in both corners. But I think this is just like the cargo we were talking about before, where the bat's good, but there are incredible bats in the corners right now. So this card is probably only playable if you think he can stick in center. And I think he is good enough to stick in center, at least for the moment. So I'm going to run him as a starter in center versus lefties, probably platoon him, but I'm willing to do it because he does play all three positions. I think if he only played center, then as a guy I'm only playing on one side, I would not have been willing to run him. But since he plays all three, I think I can get away with it.
yeah, I think in the Invitational, that's why maybe you favor an Oscar Charleston over a Willie Mays. Astor 31 took Oscar Charleston, a little bit more versatility. Willie only plays center, so handicaps you a little bit. But mind you, it's Willie Mays. He plays both sides anyway. But
Yep.
all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to the Rangers. A lot of Ranger love today. We've got Ian Kinsler, one of the great all-time Texas Ranger infielders. High diamond. I think you said earlier there is a lot of competition at second base, or was that low diamond?
Well, third base, there's a ton. Second base, there's not quite as much. There's a PT Elite Matt McLean. There's Spencer Steer. There's Home Run Johnson, who plays there, but maybe you're more likely to play it short. I have this card a little bit ahead of Steer, sort of better defensively, and the bat's a little bit ahead of Matt McLean. So I think in an open diamond, I'm going to play him. But because he's only slightly better than Steer, and Steer's more flexible, in any kind of cap, I'd rather save 7 points and play Steer. So he's kind of a card that will have some use, but won't be an automatic play, I think, which is kind of a good spot to release cards. It kind of makes you think about what you're doing. And he's also a little bit splitty. So, the more lefties that come in, the more interesting he'll get.
Right. Okay. And one more before we finish off our trivia. Denny McLean. Look at that logo in the bottom left-hand corner. Like, we haven't seen that for a while.
No,
The Detroit
you don't get many of
Tigers.
those.
I love that logo, by the way. That's probably my favorite Detroit Tiger logo, is that one there on the card. High stamina, a lot of blue in the BABIP. So compare this then to that Pedro card, plus and negatives to both.
Yeah, well, I think Pedro just kind of has a little bit more of most of the key stuff. They're similarly kind of in good shape PBABIP wise, but Pedro is going to prevent more home runs, which is kind of going to be a bit of a difference. And also, see, the stamina is a difference. The stamina is probably pretty good for both. I'm trying to pick up the differences exactly, because I have McLean end up a fair bit lower than Pedro as a result. But again, it's a lot of cards that are pretty close. So I have McLean kind of just a little bit outside that that group of, 10 to 12 really good pitchers at the top. But I think he's a little bit behind them.
Well, and as he should be. It's Pedro. It's an Expo. It's a Canadian baseball. Well, not born Canadian, but played in Canada. But yeah, nonetheless, another good card, another option that you have in High Diamond to put on your team. And for those of you that get them, I'm sure you'd be pretty happy if you don't have, some of those perfect cards, or if you play High Diamond. All right. I think
I think
that's
these missions also, as a mission card, I think there will be a lot of copies in the game, reasonably cheaply as well. Because if I remember correctly, I should go back and check. I think the way these missions worked is that the way you get the overall toppers is by completing a number of missions rather than by locking the mission reward cards. And if that's right, then I think a lot of the reward cards like McLean are then going to be sold. So you'd be able to pick one up cheaply if that's right.
okay. Well, here comes the end of their trivia right after we take another Twitch break here, guys. So
am I wrong? You do need to lock them all? Okay, I'm sorry. In that case, if you do need to lock them all, then I take back what I said. It may be these reward cards are actually not easy to get because everyone's kind of locking theirs.
Okay. All right. Back to finish off trivia in 2 minutes.
All right.
All right, Charles, we are back. How about we finish off their trivia here and find out who our winner is? Right now, Mr. Audit has the lead, Pop Stongoria in second, Landis, WX, and then Dogberry.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. So we just asked about, we got all 8 of the participants, but there were some other people involved as well. And I know Taswiji was, heavily involved in putting this together. So we've got to ask a question for him, right?
Sure.
And he mentioned, he came on stream last time and told us about his love of the Hanshin Tigers. So who was the most recent player to move from the Hanshin Tigers to the majors?
All right. And I will not attempt to pronounce these names. Yamamoto, I know that one. Senga, I know that one. Shinjo and Fujinami. Those are your four. Those are your 4 options. Yeah, Dogberry. You can stay on the leaderboard by taking a lot of zeros because as people answer
It
them
seems like this was a tough
incorrectly,
set this week. Yeah.
yeah, you answer a lot incorrectly, it really pushes you down that leaderboard pretty quick. So I think GT Sundown won a couple weeks ago, and he only played half because he had to leave or something. And he just took zeros on the second half of the questions, but had a big enough lead.
One of these weeks we just make these really easy, I guess, just to.
Well, I Rock This and Fussmucker and Pop Stongoria with maybe the lowest score I've seen, 98, ringing in at the very last second. That does not change the leaderboard at the top, but I Rock This, by getting one question right, has moved into second place. So congratulations, I Rock This. You're within 2,500 of overall lead. Okay, next.
All right. Well, I think we got to ask one for you here. You know, I know you're a big Expos guy. So in the Invitational Tournament, how many Expos cards got drafted?
Ooh, so Expos on the card, huh?
Expos on the card. Yep.
0, 1, 3, or 5. Montreal Expos drafted by the 8 combatants in the Invitational. And not sure. I think I know 2 of them.
All right. Well, that's not 0 or 1 for sure.
Yeah. I don't think it's 0 or 1. Okay. Answer is coming up. 7 people were able to get this one right. Okay. Right. Vlad Guerrero Sr.
Absolutely.
Charlie Lee.
Yep. And there was a bronze in there too.
And the third one, what level was the card?
It was a bronze.
Santangelo?
No, he didn't get didn't go in the end. It was a bronze LE, if that helps.
Oh, bronze LE.
Bronze LE, an Expos LE.
Youngblood? Youngblood?
No. Really splitty outfielder. There you go. Sledge. It was Termel Sledge.
Chat helped me on that one. It was Sledge. Okay. That's the one I forgot. Well, 7 people got that one right, including a couple of our leaders. And I Rock This has vaulted into first place here with 16,000 points. And then we've got LLJK, Flick of the Wrist, and Caged Wisdom. Okay. Next question.
I think you're up.
All right. 2 more questions to go. These are the 2 that I added on just to add a little bit more Canadian flavor here.
Sounds good.
How many consecutive games did Isidafo win to take the invitational title? 7, 6, 8, or 9? How many consecutive wins?
I'm really hoping then that the next question you're going to ask is not who won the title.
Yeah, no. I will not ask that one.
But congrats to Isidafo. I hadn't mentioned earlier on the stream because I wasn't sure if you were going to put that, at the end. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I showed this at the beginning. That kind of would have been a little bit of a giveaway, I think.
That's true.
Well, 7 people got this one correct. Somehow, some way against these top-end managers, Isidafo was able to win 8 games in a row.
Although, let's be fair, it was a little bit AI assisted. There was a bunt involved. I'll just say that.
Oh man, I think Spore is quite not over this one yet. I don't think he's quite over this one yet. All right. Let's see the scores here going into the last question. You know, Rob Deere, 3 of the 14 questions he got first place, but not enough to move him. Pop Stongoria, Mr. Audit, I rock this. Look at that, Charles. We
Close
got 3
race.
people.
Wow.
3 within 1,000. So it's going to be whoever's the fastest on the fingerboard here to get the
As long as
prize.
they get it right. As long as they get it right.
Okay, here we go. Last question is, which manager drafted the new 66 overall Dave Stieb?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Who thought that, you know, this new card fits kind of in that bronze meta a little bit? Might be good to have in the bullpen.
I maybe should have drafted him over Cliff Lee the way that went.
Well, exactly. Well, although 6 people chose Spore would probably heart-wise be the guy that would draft Dave Stieb just because he likes the player. But no one drafted Dave Stieb. So here we go. Our final results. Our top 2 finishers will get 5 packs each sent to their accounts. We've got Mr. Audit. Congratulations, Mr. Audit, taking first place. I rock this coming in second. And I believe that both of you, that's your PT username, Mr. Audit, and I rock this. I don't think there's any change there. If it is different, make sure you send me a whisper. Otherwise, I think those are your 2 account names. It is for Mr. Audit, and I'm pretty sure it is for I rock this too. So Charles, once again, thanks for putting those questions together. A great theme. And
sorry about the bunt. Actually, that's the one I should have asked is what's the difference in expected runs if you try to bunt with runners in first and second with no out, but bunt into a double play?
Yeah.
That's the
You
one
remember who
asked.
bunted into the double play? Who was that play?
Don't
Which
remember.
card was
somebody
that?
against Izadafo and oh, that's what it was. It was worse than that. They pinch. Okay, so it costs you almost 3/4 of a run. They pinch bunted an awful bunter.
It was an iron, I think, like Mondesi or something.
Well, you know, here's the thing. If just saying, if anyone ever were to make a Tony Suck card, I bet that card would bunt a lot.
Well, Spore has made us happy with a lot of cards today. He's made us happy with a lot of built cards, and Spore has just provided so much happiness. But every once in a while, Spore too makes us cry, and especially me when I face him in the PTCS. Yeah, he's made me cry in a few tournaments. So yeah. We'll move on though. We'll move on from the bunt attempt. Let's go through the perfect cards here, Charles. We've got, I think, 3 or 4. Brian McCann, catcher ability of 112. Do you play him against the righties? Does he fit in your lineup, or is Campy and the other catchers?
You might want to close out the quiz just because it pops up for people. And yeah, so I think McCann's going to be pretty good. I am going to try to run him. So I'm now trying to run him with Adley is the platoon I'm trying. Because that 112 catcher ability is just enormous. And so I want to find a way to get that 112 catcher ability in the game when I can. And the bat's also fun.
What's the second highest in the game right now for ability?
I can look up. There's no good way to look up catcher ability that way. I can look it up from the cards I own, but I may not own everything. But let me see.
Almora? Oh no, that was the.
But it looks like McCann's 112 does look like the high. And notice that this 40 overall Jose Molina is number 2. And that's one of the reasons that when we were talking about a couple like the Brent Main, these irons, that's one of the reasons that I'm sometimes just happy to run Molina in a cap and, don't worry about the bat. But yeah, so I'm now trying to run kind of this McCann and Adley kind of at the top here.
All right. And 2 new catchers in the lineup, Brian McCann, and good luck with him. I'm curious how he does in Perfect League. Hopefully he vaults
so
you.
far. Here you go. 2 games and he's got so not much. But it's 2 games in. We'll see how he does.
Okay. Next up, we've got Perfect Bruce Sutter.
Yeah, that one also looks really good. He's as you might have imagined, he's still behind the Mariano Rivera that you can get out of tournament packs. But I think he might even turn out to be in some parks the next best reliever. So I think he definitely should be somewhere on your roster. Depending on your park and your build, that'll decide if you'd rather run him or Gagne, for example. But they're actually both pretty similar shapes. So yeah, I think Suitors should be playing for everybody.
All right. And before we get to the final 2, just going to the bounty here, quick little update. We're going to the final deciding game between these 2 managers, Shodai, and Pork Chop. So Shodai and Pork Chop going to a final game 3 to decide who gets those extra packs. I believe both have met the qualifications. We've looked at these teams already. Charles, just kind of take a quick peek there. Anyone appear to be a starting pitcher or non-catcher?
Oh,
I
looks
think they're
pretty
all
good.
good.
Oh, they
right?
got the new Trevor Rosenthal. I think that must be the new Rosenthal, right? The one we just put up on stream.
Yeah.
Nice.
0
card's doing
ERAs.
well.
Got a couple wins.
0.38 whip. I think if you have an 0.38 whip, I think that you usually get some decent results out of that, right?
Yeah. And then the Peaches, we looked at their roster. Very good.
I see
Looks
they
like
got
they
8
have.
positions out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that Brock Stewart card looks like at all. I think I've must have never looked at that card.
Well, I don't know if you want to.
Wow.
Someone needs to clip that. I don't know if I've ever looked at their card, at this card.
You know what? Now I know what. Is that worse than Kirkering?
This is his hitting stats.
Because it's batting. Oh, I was going to say, like, I was just looking at the overall shape. Like, wait a minute, that can't be.
Yeah, it would not be a 45 if that was his pitching stats. Let's put it that way. All right, and he's hitting 259 with this profile. So what's up with that? He's got 7 hits, a triple. He had 3 hits in the last game. Charles, new meta. Brock Stewart at shortstop.
Go.
Yeah, how's his fielding?
Fielding is better than Casey Schmidt.
Wow. The things you learn by playing these deal or no deal drafts.
I wonder,
all right,
does he have some background at all at short, or?
I don't think so. Oh, I don't know. I don't know the player that well. So our final 2 perfects. First of all, do you have both of these last 2 cards in your lineup?
Probably. See what we got here. It's possible.
Lou Boudreau.
Yeah, this is the point that we're going to have to say nice things about EVC, isn't it?
What? You don't like saying nice things about EVC?
Well, because you see how this card has 110 infield range?
Yeah.
Well,
is there a guy out there?
There's a certain ranger that maybe now should be playing third base when this card is playing short.
Who's that? Brian McCann? No.
Oh, I'll ask him. Yeah, there's a certain Texas Ranger card that, plays
They
both
used to.
short and third and really should be a shortstop because he's so good at shortstop. But
Oh, that Blue Jay.
no, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
But that's why he's so good, because he played in Toronto. Do you notice that everyone that plays in Toronto usually has career seasons and then they move elsewhere? Oh, this guy.
Yeah, there's this guy with 106 range at short that, I think I'm now gonna give some time at third base.
What? What?
Boudreaux
Can you
has
repeat
100.
that?
Well, I want him in the lineup. Boudreaux has 110 range, and A-Rod only has 106 range. So,
You're actually going to put him at third base?
I think so.
EVC is just he's a futuristic predictor here. He says third base, and now Charles is buying what EVC is selling, drinking
Well,
the
look, I
Kool-Aid.
want to put my best, defensive shortstop at shortstop. And A-Rod is an incredible defensive shortstop with a great bat. But so I'm not going to do that both ways. I'm still going to run, so I'm probably going to run A-Rod at short, with Brett, versus righties, and Boudreaux at short with A-Rod at third versus lefties or something like that. But I think the point is I look at that 110 range and I kind of say, well, wait a minute. Alex Rodriguez is now actually the second best defensive shortstop on my team. And he's an excellent third baseman. So I think he's going to see some time at third.
Can you
So
pull up
EVC, I think EVC gets the old tip of the cap.
Can you pull up the Seager card? I just want people to see how he compares with that Corey Seager.
So Seager's only got 100 range. The bat's really good, but it's only 100 range. So A-Rod is a better defensive shortstop than Seager. A-Rod's an excellent defensive shortstop.
Well,
But
now
Boudreaux's also an excellent defensive shortstop. Yeah, and there's the Bill Dolan that we mentioned, who's even got 111 range. So if you wanted to play Dolan in that 111 range, again, you're putting your best defensive alignment's going to be putting your best shortstop at shortstop and then putting the other guy at third. So when Boudreaux and A-Rod are both in the lineup, I think Boudreaux becomes the shortstop.
So you gotta reward EBC for his prognostication here. Answer his question for me.
What do you do with Bill Dolan now? You lock him to get a Walter Johnson.
There you go. Okay.
I tried to give a hat tip, and this thing wasn't quite. Yeah.
So you have him in your lineup, you said?
Right now, I'm running. So right now, what I'm trying is A-Rod at short with Brett on one side, but I'm trying Boudreaux at short with A-Rod on the other side.
How's he done in his limited play so far?
Let me see. Boudreaux
hitless.
Is a negative 49 OPS plus good?
But how about the defense?
Here you go. He's got a positive ZR.
There you go. Okay. Things are looking up.
And for comparison, A-Rod, so you see A-Rod was pretty close to 0 at shortstop with ZR. And I know that sounds funny because wait a minute, isn't A-Rod, 106 range and like an incredible defensive shortstop? Well, he is. The problem is that this week, at least for 1 week, I'm in Perfect League. And in Perfect League, there's a lot of people running Alex Rodriguez, right, as you might imagine. And with all the Alex Rodriguez's in here, it just means that Alex Rodriguez is sort of the average shortstop in the league right now. So that's why he's got a ZR around 0.
Okay. All right, let's move on. We've got two more and then the topper to go through for the missions. And EVC will be coming on after we're done. EVC, we will be done probably in 10 to 15 minutes. We're not going to open packs today, Charles. We opened some a little earlier on. So we won't do our baseball game today because none of those cards are packable anyway. So
Sure.
we'll leave that.
Or actually, did we ever get an answer on the drop rates for did we ever get an answer on the drop rates for the exclusive packs?
I haven't been looking, quite honestly, so
Okay.
I don't know if it's posted anywhere. Okay, speaking of Blue Jays, I'm thinking you're gonna say his stuff and P Babbitt probably hurt him being a perfect card. I don't know. What do you think?
The thing is that there are so many big power hitters that I think first off, the home run prevention really helps. This is more home run prevention than any of the other pitchers in the meta right now. So with these big bats, that's going to help. The other thing I kind of keep trying to tell people, I really would think about P BABIP and control as being a pair. In the same way that I know kind of the meme is that I'm fixated on I, what I'm really fixated on is on base percentage. You know, I'm willing, I don't care so much whether they're singles or walks, but I want you to get on base somehow. And similarly, I don't care so much whether it's hits you avoid or walks you avoid. I want you to keep runners off base somehow. So I think a card like this, the control is higher than most of the other cards at the top end of the meta. The PBAB, it's lower, but the combination ends up being kind of in the same range as the others. So I think this is a card that you can play. I am running him. I am going to run him in my rotation now. You know, he doesn't fit my park perfectly, but I am still going to try running him. And I also like that he doesn't have enormous splits. Yeah, and Spore exactly the same thing, right? The other reason I'm tilted toward I a little bit is because I seems to be a little bit more stable. Like walk rates seem to stabilize pretty quickly. And you know, when you go up or down in levels, kind of I seems to kind of, you know, stabilize, you know, it translates a little bit better. So from that point of view, it feels more stable to me if you're walking, because you have more chances to do that. But yeah, if you know, in the same way that if you have a hitter that has enough BABIP rating, I'm happy to have the hitter with low I. Similarly here, a pitcher that has enough control, I'll put up with low P BABIP. I mean, think about this way. Let's say that, you know, you gave him a control that was 90 and a P BABIP that was, you know, 110. So you're taking away, you know, like 30 points of control and you're giving him like 12 points of P BABIP or something. Well, that's actually pretty similar to the shape of, you know, some of the other more stuff heavy cards in the meta, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it kind of works. Also, I like that this has 111 stamina. That's kind of going to help if you want him to go late in games. The Gibson that I think you're about to put up has 120 stamina. So, you know, it's also going to be a little bit easier to get some of these cards to go late in games.
Where would you compare him to a guy like the Jake Arrieta, the tournament card?
So for me, it's easy that he's ahead of Arrieta, but it's kind of exactly this, like we were talking about this trade. Okay, well, this is almost exactly the trade we were talking about. So here, I'll pull up Arrieta for comparison. So Arrieta kind of has made this trade where you've given up like 30 points of control for, I know the PBABIP number is a little higher here because it's weighted toward righties. My weighting of this says that Arrieta is going to face more than 30% lefties. So I think his PBABIP probably plays more like around 111 or 112. But I think in total, the trade we've made in PBABIP and control between Arrieta and Halladay is about a wash. So I think that comes out about equal. But then the difference is that Halladay also has a bunch of extra points of home run prevention, which Arrieta doesn't, and that means he should be better. So I would rather run Halliday than Arrieta.
Plus the splittiness that you mentioned makes Halliday a much more reliable pitcher because Arrieta is a little splitty.
Yeah, so with those splits with Arrieta, I tend to feel like I need to run an opener. With Halliday, I don't think I have to run an opener. I think I can just kind of run him, which is going to save some wear and tear on the bullpen every fifth day. Yeah, but
Okay.
Arrieta, you can see actually Arrieta is no longer on my roster.
Do you
That
have
was kind of the first card that got dropped.
so your Halliday, Kershaw, Seaver, DeGrom, or Seaver,
Now I'm running Gibson
Gibson?
Gooden,
Okay.
and when I get myself a Walter Johnson, which I probably will have to do after the stream ends, Walter's going to end up in the rotation.
Do you still have the PTMS Pedro as the elite, and then everyone else takes a big drop down, or is that gap closed quite a bit?
The gap's closed a bit. And I think for the first time this week, there's at least a park in which I think you could make this three-finger Brown come out a little bit ahead of Pedro in exactly like in the right circumstance.
Wow, nice. All
It would have to be
right.
the right circumstance, but I think it's kind of starting to get into that range.
Okay. Two more cards to go. And on the pre-TWIP show, I asked all of you guys, give me a bunk pick. And the bunk pick we'll stick on pitchers and then we'll go back to Miggy for the last one. But the bunk pick for EVC was Bob Gibson. And EVC, if you're still in the chat, I had to make you a bunk emote. So you subscribers out there, test out that bunk emote. Use it in EVC's chat because he got the bunk right this time. He said Bob Gibson is going to have a card, and he does. And you've got him at the number one spot in your lineup. So I'm thinking you like this card.
I definitely like this Gibson. I think in my park, I like Halliday even more than Gibson. But I've got them both in the rotation.
Is that because of the BABIP home run suppression type of park?
Yeah, it's part. Yeah. It's just kind of. So I'm running Wiegman this week, which is a lefty BABIP and righty home run park. So it's kind of a funny combination to run.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we
I
don't have
actually
to
did
spend.
not realize that Wiegman, because I guess Wiegman is just Wrigley, right? And from a different era.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had not realized that it wasn't always called Wrigley. I didn't like until I went and looked it up. I didn't realize that.
And the splittiness of Gibson doesn't make you concerned?
It does. I'm probably going to play opener games every time Gibson comes through the order because I'd really like him to face righties.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to make it work, and I'm going to hope that he's good enough against lefties to survive. If the splits were the opposite, then I think he'd be, much, much better.
Right. Reverse splits you would love even more, I'm sure. And he can play in any era, like dead ball, boom. You have no concerns playing him in any era?
No concerns, except that if you're thinking you want to play opener games to try to get him to face some righties, you're not allowed to use an opener outside of modern era.
Yeah, very good point.
But the other thing is the stamina and hold runners are just kind of sneakily good. With a stamina of 120, this is a card that you can put in cap tournaments, and you might be getting complete games out of, even in some of these cap tournaments that are like sort of 2003. Probably modern, you're still not going to get a complete game out of them that much, but you may get innings out of them a lot. And the 94 hold runners is also worth a lot. Like for some reason, pitchers in PT24 are shockingly good at picking off runners.
Okay. Congratulations go to Pork Chop. Pork Chop is our bounty tournament winner. And with that lineup, you got some good cards there. Logan hit 300 for you. Johnny Bench hit 333. Mitch Garver did much better for you than for us. Yeah, you put together a well-constructed lineup under the rules that we had. So Peaches, Pork Chop 01, 5 packs will be sent your way, plus the 3 in-game packs you have. So hope you pull something good. Thanks to everyone that participated in that. So 5 packs to who knocked us out again? GT Sundown? GT knocked us out, right?
And, you know what I can do? If we don't want to open the other packs, I realized there is one pack that people have been curious about. I don't think it's going to be worth that much, but I can open one on stream if we want, because Kidneys was mentioning I managed to get through this bounty. So
okay,
we do have an all-perfect pack if we want to try it.
Oh, absolutely. Did you get that from last night's tournament?
Well, I think it fired last night, but it seems like there were a couple processing issues because it got stuck for a while.
You won
and it just finished while we were on
one?
stream.
The one, the open,
it ended. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Black. It ended.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's do the last card here. Miggy Cabrera, first baseman.
Well, this one's just awful, right? I mean, is there anything even like worth looking at in this one?
Quick sell, maybe. Like get your 20 grand and move on. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like he can't play third base for you. Bruthers you probably have at DH. You're not going to stick him in left field because balls are going to go over his head. Maybe at first base, maybe
versus lefties.
yeah, maybe versus lefties. You throw him in there. Maybe spot start him because he's probably going to get tired pretty quick. His stamina is pretty low because of that speed. So.
Yeah, you can't run. I mean, and look, if you ever have runners on first and second, he can't bunt him over.
Exactly. No, high-end card. I mean, is he now above Charleston Mays as the best hitting card in the game, taking out the defense aspect?
Pure bat, I think I had Aaron probably still best, and this is better than Aaron. So I think this is now the best pure bat in the game. In terms of actual value to a team, I think I'm still more interested in Aaron or Mays or Charleston because you're getting a top-notch defensive player plus a really, really good bat. But just as a pure bat, I think this is the top bat I've got, and he's certainly going to be on my roster sort of until there are 2 better bats because, he's a great first baseman, for kind of a bat first card, and he can always DH. I want to be a little careful with the fact that he plays third and left because I do think, often you might say the fact that he has a little third and left is valuable because you can stick him there as like a deep backup. I am a little bit terrified of somehow ending up with this card like playing left field in extra innings of a playoff game or something.
Would you
managers have a tendency to do that, but I'm not scared enough of that to do anything other than just put him in the lineup every day he's healthy.
Couldn't you force start him at a position, or does a AI?
I can force start him, but the AI finds ways to do things. I just remember I've seen playoff games where, I ended up with Yogi Berra playing right. I lost a playoff game with Jim Thome trying to play shortstop once. That was a lot of fun.
Okay. Let's open that perfect pack in a sec, but here's your question for you. We've got an elite hitter, an elite pitcher today. It's the bottom of the 13th inning. Miggy's at the bat with 2 out. They're behind by a run, and he's going up against Bob Gibson. Who do you think wins the perfect team showdown between Gibson and Cabrera?
I think this is the one where Gibson splits really help him. I think you got to go Gibson.
Gibson gets him out. Okay. Well, Charles, I'm glad that someone is able to open up a perfect pack on the stream because I think a lot of us are going to live vicariously through you watching that opened up on stream. So for those of you that don't know, winners of the pop-ups got a perfect pack where every card in the pack is a perfect card. So you're getting 6 of them with a 50-50 ratio. Now, whether you get 3 historicals, 3 live, we'll find out.
Yeah, may
But
not be exactly 3, but the odds are 50-50.
right. Okay. And this is the only perfect pack you've won, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think they've only been available for the bounties. So I got lucky in, one of the bounties basically, but that's how you get them.
Did you turn the animation so that you have to click the card?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go,
Here
folks.
we go. All
Get
perfect
ready
pack.
to clip it. An all perfect pack.
Hey, they're perfect.
Wait a minute. I got to take a screenshot of that. Oh, man. This is not photoshopped. Okay. We're taking a screenshot of this all perfect. Okay. Let me save that up before you open any because I'm going to want to take a couple screenshots here. Man.
This was just the luckiest normal pack we ever had, right? All right. So what do we think? Which order do we open them in? What do we think is, because you want to save the best one for last, right?
First of all, chat, give us your opinion here. How many historicals of the 6? I'm going to go with 50-50. I'm going to say 3. Chat, how many historicals does Charles pull? Mr. Audit says 3. GT Sundown. 4 is the
I'm
highest.
seeing some
by a
zero,
couple
zero,
people.
zero. Hey, zero is possible, right? 1 in 64 chance. These are all live.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's start bottom right corner and work our way up.
All right, bottom right. Here we go. Give me something historical.
Oh,
Harry Heilman from. I guess I can't actually mouse over and look at the value until it finishes. But we got a tiger, so that's already a good start. Don't think he's. I think he's not one of the expensive historicals, but he's historicals. That's one.
There's one quick sell. Okay, next up.
All right, what are we doing next? Which one?
Right beside it. Yep.
All right, here we go. Come on, historical. Oh, hey, we got an Immortal Brooks. All right. From the Boom era.
2 for 2 so far. Now there's a player.
Turn down the sound because we're going to keep getting the animation, I guess.
Yeah, no, the sound, your sound is turned off. I've got that turned off here, so we can't hear all the crackling. All right, right next to that. Can we go 3 for 3?
Come on, historical Bryce Harper.
Okay.
All right. Well, we weren't gonna go 6 for 6, right?
All right, let's go top right.
We're gonna go 6 for 6. We'll see what we can do here.
Oh, another historical.
So we're at least getting the 3 historicals. So that's not the super expensive ones, but any historical is a good historical, right?
Left. Let's go left. Top left.
Yankee.
Okay. Let's finish it with a Willie Mays.
All right. Anything but a Yankee. Come on, no Yankee. All right.
You should have said no live or Yankee. There you go.
Well, I didn't want to get greedy. I could have said no live, or I could have said no Yankee, and I figured, yeah. All right, no, but I think there we go. Right. So we got. So if you want to see what one looks like, we got 3 historicals. Brooks is probably the most expensive, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Brooks is worth about 100. You got 3 lives. What is Yelich? 50 or 60. And Heilman is possibly a quick sell.
Yeah. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 180, maybe 250.
Yeah, something like that. So it's so that's kind of and that's what most of them are going to be worth, right? There are 1 or 2 perfects that you can get that are worth a lot more, but unless you get really lucky on which one you get, most of them are sort of in this range.
All right. Well, there you go. Up live.
Yeah, cool reward for a pop-up tournament. I think if they ever were to put a pack like this in, like in the card shop or, the pack shop, my guess is that it would be priced, somewhere like 400 or 500, and my guess is that it would be tough to get that back unless you get lucky. So
okay, Charles, we are going to head over to EVC. He's up and running here. Great stream, great set of cards for I mean, so many people are going to be quite busy over the next couple of days trying to finish missions and get these cards into their lineup. So as we saw, a lot of good cards, the Bob Gibson, the Miguel Cabrera, topping it all off. And man, who knows what's in store over the next couple weeks with the set. Closing remarks here, Charles. We'll end off.
Oh, thanks for a great set. I still want to look at kind of the exclusives a little bit more, and we'll probably do that on our stream. We go through all the cards. They look like there's some fun cards in that too. And I think the last thing is, because these are in missions, I think a lot of these are going to be obtainable. Some of the packable ones are going to be expensive because you got to hit them in a pack. But I think there's a good chance that we're going to see a lot of these Miguel Cabreras, kind of at different levels of league, and not just in the high end, like teams that have a lot of points.
Right. Okay. So check out the missions, go to the game, go get those cards, put them in your lineup. We'll see you guys in the tournaments. Join the Laptop Pound daily to try and win yourself 20 packs. Don't go anywhere, heading over to EVC. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Said we're here for a good time.